And we're live. Hello and welcome everybody to the Root Winter Tournament 2023. Round 2, Losers Bracket Game 7. My name's Guerric. This is Lily.
Hello.
Our players are OneTooMany.
I am only one being and not several.
OmegaKnight.
Good morning, everyone.
Gregoola.
Hejo.
And Nefernefernefer.
Kul att vara här. Framförallt väldigt roligt. Nu kör vi.
Thank you so much, everybody. You know where to find me if you need me. So good luck, have fun. I will let you get started.
All right. So I believe I'm the one picking the map.
Better pools, what is lizard tea?
Yes.
I'm quite confused.
Give any opinions? Maybe influence me a bit?
I just want to say I have no clue what Nefernefer said, but it sounded very pretty.
Yes.
Gaming.
Winter map!
Alright, so this is the one time I might have advocated Mountain.
Winter.
Because you'd probably end up with both vagabonds.
Yeah, so, yeah. Winter. I love winter.
I do love winter.
Do not get me wrong, but it's a little cursed. Obviously, Vagabond loves Mountain for Lost City. It makes questing and aiding super consistent. But do you really risk it with keepers and moles in the pool?
That's a good point.
Go for badgers here.
Badger.
We didn't go lake. I think that's good because going lake feels like shooting yourself in the foot.
Where's my seat?
If you're
Now, this is an interesting Badgers pick because I don't know if the clearings necessarily advocate for it. They don't, like, negate it. They just don't necessarily, like, scream Badgers to me.
I will look and judge in a second.
And I have to start on the edge. Yeah.
Trying to capture the action.
On the edge to clearings.
Might be good to actually click the button, too.
It's gonna be hard to set up your pieces if you don't have them. There we go.
At first, it's the relics. Okay, so I start in this big forest, and then I go clockwise.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about the keepers and the clearing suits. It's not awful. You could set yourself up for 2 clearings fairly easily, but getting that third of any one suit will be a challenge. Unless you could go for a boat builder's keepers and iron play. Then you could. What's that?
Or card planners.
Well,
But boat builder's easier.
I'm saying boat builders sets up 10, 11, 12 as all adjacent to each other.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
I just realized how gross that is.
Yeah.
I love it.
Haha.
The keepers like 2 types, so if I'm making any mistakes, it can be
So this
You're
is
going to get grilled the entire time.
perfect.
this is a weird situation where I might set up in 2-6
Watch
just to migrate out of 2 to 8 and 3 and leave a clumping in 6.
Oh,
Yeah, there's an.
Need more relics?
Not yet.
After.
After.
Yeah.
I think I should
Tacomas.
start first.
This step,
Am I
yeah,
right?
we've placed one in each forest. Now you place yourself, and then you place the remaining relics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting argument to actually intentionally setting up in the northern strip to stake out that third clearing of a suit for you, and then extend outward from there.
Because you could actually you could also do that in 1-5 and then migrate to 10-11
Exactly.
just as easily as well.
It's an interesting option. I don't know if it's the best course of action. Like it might be easier to just shoot a couple guys up to the northern strip.
Or you could do 9-8 and then take over 4 and 7. I like starting in either 9 or 8. Starting in both, I think, is honestly pretty good too.
Right. So this is the classic like keepers thing. A huge portion of their game on the winter map ends up being figuring out how to get from one half of the map to the other. Like it consistently ends up being the pivotal challenge of their game. So setting up on 9-8 goes so far toward solving that problem.
Start at 9-8, you encamp in both, and then you just migrate to 11 and 12 and just live there. All of them.
Yeah.
You don't even stay in 9-8. You just leave those way stations to die.
No, I mean I think that would be a pretty solid course of action is set up 9-8, like push hard into 11-12 and shoot off a guy to 10, and you've got your 3 clearings, you've got every single relic on the map.
symmetrical, I think.
I think it's really good.
So with this setup, I have...
That's actually a fun idea. I didn't think
And if you set up like this, you are condemning Eerie to starting up here.
basically, yeah.
Or I guess I can just...
Because they have to start the closest they could start is 1 or 2.
This.
No, because it's two.
Oh, it's 2
between.
away.
It's yeah.
You're right. I forgot about 11 and 12.
Yeah. So
when you count 2 away, my brain always counts along the edge and forgets the middle clearings.
yeah, no. Eerie's stuck on 5 or 6 right now, so it's very possible for Eerie to be forced into Despot.
I like it.
Oh,
I feel like the cat was getting my arm wet, and I don't know how.
Magical.
No.
Her ears are leaking.
Oh. Yeah, so what do you guys think? Because basically there will be need for some violence.
Okay, so
Considering, unless we're going double vagabond, there's going to be violence either way, I think.
We haven't had a second Vagabond game in round 2 yet.
Because
I'm guessing Gregoola wants to go God of War because it's obviously the.
taking Badgers myself.
Gregoola wanted to go Badgers. That's what happened.
God of War is obviously a great pick if you can do it, and it would help stop keepers from running away with the game. But the fact that you can turmoil it on setup at the moment.
I don't think we have to fight. A peaceful game is fine by me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, peaceful badges. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They're so
They
peaceful.
just win.
They also do just win.
They're relics, man.
There's a lot of factions that, like, you know, in certain
Fastest
pools,
game I've
just
seen.
alone, they just win.
Them.
Yeah.
Wow. 5-turn Badgers. That's impressive.
Yeah, well, if you want to be capable of checking the badges, then you got to pick a faction capable of checking them.
Yeah, so basically just
So, picking Duchy first is interesting because it could potentially save Eerie.
Yes. If you pick Duchy and set up the right way, it enables Eerie to police keepers and go God of War. So how much do you want to enable a God of War game for someone else
for the birds,
for the sake of your own game?
like God of War.
I might. But I'm also the last in the draft, so chances of me getting them and doing anything.
So here's the question. Is this the point in the draft where you just pick a Vagabond and
yeah.
kick the can to somebody else?
Push through either moles or the birds.
The question is then also, do they do the right thing?
It probably depends a lot on what your hand looks like.
The other.
If it has good items for a Vagabond, maybe you try that. If it doesn't, then I'd take moles.
Yeah.
Okay. if I
So-
go here.
When I was putting together the stats, which are now, round 2 stats are actually up right now.
Mm.
They went up yesterday in the middle of the game. It's only games 1 through 8. Does not include the game from yesterday. But I'd noticed we'd had moles 5 times in the draft so far. And 4 out of those 5 times, they were in the 4th seed.
Oh,
They have a preference.
seems like okay. Can play the 4 again.
Over the morrow, if you need to know something about what happened yesterday, just watch the VOD.
We're just joking because they played yesterday.
No, I know.
2. No one did here.
I remember you telling me that.
Any of
Things
the top
happened.
for birds. Because there's a... Oh, never mind, I'm stupid. Yeah, 1,
Oh,
2.
no,
Yeah,
no.
only these 2. Wow.
Yeah, so that's quite far away.
It is quite far away.
Picking birds now puts you far away from the badges.
Reeling the ramifications of.
If you pick something that goes in one of these top rows now, then the birds is distance requirements downgrades to a 1, and then I think even a 0 if it can't do a 1.
That's true. If you set up in 5 or 6, does that just basically say birds can set up anywhere?
Closer to the badges if you pick something and go in like anything near the top row.
That's what I was saying. If you go moles and you play ball, if you intentionally set up in the top half of the map, that enables Eerie to go to like 10 or 7 which is in range to hit keepers.
That is true.
It will add stability to the game at the cost of you potentially being on the receiving end of that stability.
It's like it's time to pick the Harrier.
Well, on one hand, it is not the worst pick, but on the other, I'm then letting birds and moles on the first 2 seats. And if no one picks moles, then the birds cannot get to badgers at all.
It's true.
Yeah, but then whoever is
And
picking
prefer-
the adventurer is essentially handing the game to the badgers, right?
Yeah.
So then you wouldn't expect a person to pick the adventurers if it's going to throw the game, right?
Unless they're very confident in themselves.
Okay, so just
Someone maybe might have a good adventurer
to
hand.
go the moles or the birds. Then
This is a... I love that this is a curse draft, but like it's an interesting curse draft. There's already entanglement from the get-go. Like,
Right.
sometimes it's a curse draft, it's just like everything sucks. This is like, I have to do the right thing, otherwise I've lost in the draft, it feels like.
100%. 100%.
Which is always a really fun draft to see.
On some level, I wonder if this is actually an argument against the winter map pick, because it enabled keepers to be in such a strong setup position.
I want to.
That's true.
If we'd
But
gone
just
with-
the lack of connection.
Right. If we'd gone with autumn,
So you didn't pick
Yeah.
map or
I
map.
wonder if the situation would be different.
Or mountain.
Or mountain.
Maybe my mountain map advocation wasn't wrong.
Mountain is closed off in its own weird ways.
Yeah, but you can open it up at least.
Mm.
So like
They're forced in. They're not
Oh,
forced in.
here.
you can actually set up in a way that's 2 away on the get-go and then open it to be 1 away later. You know.
Yeah. Good morning, Nico.
Oh. Can we move one?
I forgot there was
1, 2.
flavor packets in there.
Okay.
My mouth tastes weird now. Flavor packet plus toothpaste is not a good go.
What's the worst map ranking for the Badgers? It is probably either winter or lake.
So
I would go with lake.
It's weird.
I will not. My hand is got.
Winter, I feel like you can make it work.
Well, so it's the weirdest thing. All logic should say winter is a good map for Badgers because 11 and 12 have access to every single relic on the map.
Between
So am I
the
forced
other.
to be?
But
Let's go.
when you actually look at the games
No.
and look at the stats,
I meant to say vagabond, but my brain.
keepers tend to do better on lake than they do on winter. Because
Really?
yeah, because they struggle so hard
Adventure, but
to migrate from one half of the map to the other on winter.
That's
not work well.
fair. It's just interesting because when I think about both of them,
We
they both have that like dual pinch point.
Yeah, I mean both of them are very they're maps that are
Winter
divided
is greater than lake, which is greater than bad winter.
make you start.
pretty much.
That's a good way of
Fine.
It's hard because it's randomized, so you can't just say like this map is good or bad because depending on the suits or clearings, it can be good and or bad.
And also the
setup.
faction mix.
Faction mix, turn order.
But in general, Autumn and Mountain are both pretty solid just due to the fact that they're pretty connected and well-connected maps mean that keepers have more ways to move around, more ways to rule things, etc.
Okay. Do it takes already a long time. So
And in the tournament, Mountain has Lost City, which enables keepers in a big way. Alright, we did in fact go moles, which I think is probably the quote-unquote safe pick here.
I thoroughly appreciate how going moles is taking one for the team. Just saying. That's like a very, very stupid moment.
Yeah.
I'll be charitable and I'll pick moles, I guess.
I do so much for you. I provide.
Moles, after the first 8 games, have a 40% win rate, which is pretty fun. there for round 2, not for all winter tournament.
The setup in 1 is interesting.
That is interesting.
It's not going for the clumped pieces. Like if we gone to 5 or 6, we could do a stack of 3 and a stack of 2.
Maybe we have all foxes in our hand.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was leading with this. Is it indicates we may have a weird hand that necessitated the extra these particular suits.
That's it. So that's it.
Okay. What does OmegaKnight do now? Does OmegaKnight
Has options.
snap by, snap pick God of War Eerie?
Go to
I would think so.
Omega.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the birds.
Okay. I
Can't believe it.
OmegaKnight tends to surprise me as a player, so I wasn't sure where this would go.
Nope.
One of them.
Snap pick.
6, 2, and 7 are my only possible setups.
No.
6 to 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Did OmegaKnight play last year's Birds and Win? I couldn't remember.
I'm just trying to play it my first turn in my head.
I say it's really interesting seeing Eerie getting to first
You
and
think I
second
can't
seed
disrupt it?
more often lately.
A little vagabond.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot more entanglement in just like the draft itself, which is really fun to see. Or
Well-
just on interesting decisions.
There's a little bit of a
Hit anything.
like prisoner's dilemma, game of chicken thing with Eerie in certain faction flops,
Oh yeah, 6.
which we were just seeing here. You could not pick Eerie and safely go God of War from 4th or 3rd seat. You had to wait until other factions are picked.
Then you're
I
moving
feel-
towards the moles, which means the badges.
Ah!
Yeah, I remember that part switching. I didn't rember the faction.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I won last year.
hitting that, just if you go further on mid, like I will not be able to do anything for number of turns. So
And you'd have to move 3 birds there just in case you roll a 2-2 or a 3-2.
More than that, just in case of an ambush.
Also that.
I
So
really
either
don't
way, I
want to
think
do
you have to go double move to start with, looks like.
or builder or
Oh,
anything else.
builder!
no, don't go builder.
Let's go.
Ooh, we got an upgrade from Jim.
Maybe desperate if you think you're going to get all those juicy tokens.
Oh, if you are going for okay, so that was mistake because there will be no enough hitting capabilities of the table. Should have gone for the birds then.
Yeah, better pools. I think last year we had a lot of people picking factions based upon what they were familiar with. And I think this year we're finally seeing a consistent drafting based upon meta consideration and pool consideration and so on. Not to imply that we had none of that last year, none of, oh goodness, and none of the former this year, just
Commander, but-
I feel I need to be aggressive.
Yeah, well then it's
This
commander and it's charismatic and double move, right?
No, commander, never start.
Yeah,
commander.
I meant to say
Please,
charismatic.
it's
I meant
like
to say charismatic.
commander.
It's like charismatic and double move, and then delay your build 1 turn.
He can hit me in 5 and just do
Yeah, but where would
later
you build?
on. Oh,
Forget how
build here,
rules.
and then next turn try to.
thank you, test driver.
First turn, moving 3 birds into 5 and battling and then building. It's not the worst. And then next turn, double move, and then yeah, I mean it could work.
So we're obviously the table's like, okay, now that you've picked the policing faction, you're gonna go police. And the ear are like, I'll do it. Just maybe not turn 1.
And maybe not the person.
Well, turn 1
You're-
we'll police someone else.
Yeah, so this is kind of the I don't want to say nightmare scenario, but we picked moles in the hopes of enabling a God of War charismatic to police keepers, and instead it is enabling a God of War charismatic to police us, the moles, which is valid.
Yeah, it was
moles-
always a risk.
Moles win more games than keepers, to be clear.
Yes.
So kind of aggressive.
But keepers are very scary.
Okay, so
Right.
I guess I should start talking about my choices here.
Keepers are like
Obviously, the stronger vagabond.
the ultimate glass cannon.
But
they are incredibly powerful and incredibly stoppable.
Really strong start versus
But you just have to make sure you have a faction that can stop them.
Yeah.
And that's just enabling the Eerie to be a competitive faction
the adventure.
in the draft allows for that.
Obviously, the Harrier would help with both the moles and the birds and the badgers. But at the same time, incentivizing you guys to hit each other more might be good for me. So I think I'm going to go with my gut and say I have a pretty cool hand for the adventurer.
Yes,
And, that might be a
adventure.
mistake.
There it is.
By pretty good hand, do you mean coins?
I'm not saying. So here's the adventurer.
I do like Adventurer.
I will say, Adventure is a little bit easier to see on this map for some reason to me.
We need quests technically, but
We're all ready.
yeah, this signals to me probably having a hammer.
So we
You know, if there's one vagabond that wants quests, it's probably the Adventurer.
start the game.
Yeah, for real.
All right.
We probably have some very juicy craftables.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh well, fuck.
The Adventurer doesn't need quests.
Wherever player set up their faction, start the game by pressing this. Click. Alright, greetings. I am the singular being, OneTooMany. You can see I have
Playing the singular being of the Adventurer.
I think OneTooMany had a first seat last round as well. Because I remember, I feel like I got deja vu this time where I was introducing the players, and it sounded like I was stating we had one too many players at the very start. It's like, our players are one too many.
another hammer.
Ooh, we got a second hammer immediately.
Pretty good.
I craft a hammer.
It's pretty good.
Monte Cristo, we definitely don't need a hammer in hand. It's just one of those things where
Wait, where's my quests?
you see the potential for that power, and it often incentivizes you to go Adventurer.
Is it me?
No.
How do I take
I
the
don't
entire
think
game?
so. They are probably.
Okay, so I guess I got to deal 3 quests. I forgot that part because quests usually never matter, but they actually do here, and that was stupid.
It's okay, it's an easy fix.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what made you decide to put the deck of Vagabond quests up here?
It's in case of double Vagabond games.
3 quests. So let me just check these.
Interesting mix.
And here.
Could be worse.
Could be better. Give a speech and
Could be raining.
Nefernefernefer aren't great. Logistics help isn't bad though.
So that is I moved, I did a thing, I got a point for doing it. Click.
Yeah, logistics help is solid. Other two, not so much, but
And then I will use my boot to move down here.
all right. Crafting tea, potentially?
Hammer to craft this bag.
That is not a tea.
What if we craft another tea? We could still craft a tea.
We could still craft a tea, though.
Nope.
So close.
And this goes to discard. And I believe that is my turn.
No.
Draw a card.
That's fine. It's no tea, but it's not a bad start.
No.
Okay.
I always love seeing a turn 1 craft from the Vagabond.
So this is probably okay. So I understand what happened here is
One to move and one to build.
if we did set up in such a way as to go after keepers immediately, we would not have been building first. turn.
Correct.
We would have been double moving,
Yes.
which is very bad. So understandably, OmegaKnight has decided, no, I will police the moles and build turn 1, which in fairness is pretty win-win.
Mm-hmm. So there also is a chance that the last card in hand is the bunny card,
Mm,
in which case we wouldn't have been able to move to the moles anyway.
yes.
I can say I will not ambush you, and you can take less if you need it.
Okay, I like that table talk from Gregoola a lot.
We're hitting badgers, so it's not like
Yeah, I really like
anything to gain.
that. Gregoola is saying, hey, why don't you leave more forces
When I get to bed.
in a position to go after keepers?
Okay.
I promise you won't need them for me.
cards lead me.
And the OmegaKnight, and OmegaKnight's just like, cool. Continuing on.
Attacking. So no ambush?
Yeah, no, I'm
All of his word.
2-0.
Oof.
2-0.
Oof.
Build my roost.
Now, so obviously we've been talking a lot about policing keepers. I do think moles are the better thing to police early on. We've talked about that a lot in previous games. You have to police moles preemptively, proactively, early.
okay.
You can police keepers reactively
So I recruit.
later. So I do think this is totally fine and
And I will
arguably even better. Probably even better.
swipe break.
All right, we're having a brigadier.
Got a coins and 2 boots in hand. That's pretty solid.
It is pretty solid.
And then
I
drop.
know. She got a big old booger on her nose.
Katie.
I don't have any tissues or anything.
That's it. I just need to find it, but it's like to do. And it's up to Nefernefernefer.
Yeah, okay.
Hi.
So. Mhm.
So it's also interesting here is I'm wondering if OmegaKnight is taking into consideration what Nefernefernefer said
Buying
at the beginning of the draft, which is I've played Keeper's Iron once before.
I thought it was a couple times.
I heard once.
Regardless, it was not a significant number. I remember that.
Yeah.
And
Where
then
did he go?
And keepers are admittedly difficult to pilot effectively. They are far and away the most complicated faction in Root. Not, to be clear, I don't think they're overly complicated or anything like that, which is a narrative that sometimes gets thrown around.
no decamp.
I actually think they are remarkably
Then I craft corporate planners.
remarkably elegant for how much they have going on. It's actually not very many like
It's like awesome. Man.
it's a very low word count for how complicated they are. It's more like
What?
weird to wrap your brain around
Start.
than actually complicated.
You couldn't get
Yeah,
better
it
start.
kinda is.
But yeah, Corvid Planners does make things easier. That's a
I make one
really solid craft for keepers.
to 12.
And they are fun as hell. Yeah, even if they were overcomplicated, they're fun as hell. But I honestly think they are not overcomplicated. I think they're just unintuitive.
No. I used move one.
I think the fact that they work on 2 different axes
Exactly.
makes them the most complicated out of the factions.
Right. It means you have to have like concurrent thinking,
Yeah.
which
So I draw in this
Can be difficult.
yeah.
relic, which is a 2.
That comment about them was really overcomplicated. Fair enough. All right, we're zooming through this turn.
Sorry, there's a lot of cat hair in the air.
Yeah, I gotta stop petting her.
Petting her.
I have move or recover.
We grabbed the figure into here. Hi, cat.
Hi, cat.
We cannot recover it safely with how we moved.
From 9 to 8.
So we're just going to defend it.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone comes after it right now. Eerie are too far away. Moles don't have the action economy yet.
No.
An adventurer is your friend.
Adventurers have a sword yet.
That's a serious answer, but I was being...
Of the land,
a goof.
I have no clearance with more than
It is a 2 figure.
4 or more. And then gather retinue. I put 1 bird card in move or recover, and 1 more in.
That's a hell of a hand to start with.
Sure is.
No wonder we went badgers without even thinking about it.
That was Grim
Yeah.
Birds. Birds.
This is the 3rd time I'm playing this faction, so
Third time.
Third.
They played it 2 times before. This is their 3rd.
No. With that kind of opening, you asked them to not be nice to you.
Let me get
GG. Don't eat his cord.
points.
In one turn? Sure.
One big recover.
Let's see, we had one bird card in Erie. I'm just
4 accounted for so far.
yeah, 4 out of 14 accounted for.
Ooh.
We need like a
All right, my turn.
we need like a screen pop up like running bird count, and it pops up a little graphic for
Where are we slipping?
Go to daylight.
slipped into 8.
2
Okay.
hammers to craft these coins.
Yep.
Gain
Oh.
3 points.
Yeah, we're
This is not looking good for me.
We zoom in.
Here.
Mole's a little upset by that.
And then I'm just double checking that I think I'm doing this.
It would be a
So move in here.
surprising
And then
if
use the torch.
Gregoola ends up eliminated.
The bag.
Gregoola, you know, famous in the Root community for being a very skilled player.
The give a speech quest. 2.
Oh,
But as we all know, Root is
2 cards.
Oh,
I mean,
not purely a game of skill.
where is that going?
Where does it go?
It goes.
Here.
By your
Oh, over there. My eyes.
We're going all over the place.
And then another
Did you draw
quest.
2 cards?
I chose to wait, 2 cards.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 2 cards. Wow. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna discard one. That's fine. I'll take that over 1 point. End might go to evening. If in a forest, I'm not. Then I draw 2 cards from my coins. One from regular and one from coins. And then I
Okay.
remove items. But nope.
We got it fixed, better pools.
Cards. Let me just take a look at what I drew.
We are searching for that T.
Yeah, so many great players have been eliminated. It
Card mouse partisans.
like we do double elimination to try and mitigate some of the
Luck.
the randomness, zaniness, and it we still end up with terrific players who just get a bad beat and don't advance.
So everyone wants me to start hitting edges right away.
Yes.
well, I don't, but
um,
I have no saying in this.
Well, it's
Um,
up to you, but they have
so just real quick, we got another logistics
best
help
possible retinue.
in the
best
quest.
Mm, yes.
display.
possible improvement.
Oh yeah, we didn't explore at all, did we?
No, we chose to do the give a speech over exploring.
In fairness, we already have a bag because we crafted it.
We have a double hammer.
We have the hammer because we got that.
Well, we did damage the bag to do the quest, but that's fine.
Yeah, but my point is like we have access to a bag already.
Yes.
We have 1 boot and no need for a second necessarily at the moment. I think that actually might be a really smart play on OneTooMany's part to recognize that he has the items he needs. Pulling from the ruins is not necessarily getting him anything
Just gonna put a single in to move.
he needs, but solving a bad quest early might set him up for success later.
I also will say,
Swap.
this is a really
Good craft.
this is a really interesting idea if you're looking at.
Solve decree, recruit 2 in the fox clearing.
We're still hitting moles again. Yeah, not get to badgers.
We're getting to badgers through moles.
It's true.
This path is not open to us.
1 to 11. Or
1, 11. Yep.
2.
Just gonna poke the moles again.
Battling the moles in 11. Do you have an ambush?
Nope. I see that. 5 targets.
3-1.
Okay, he had a knife.
Lose 1 each.
But going back really quick before we get too far from it, one other thing is we could be avoiding swords.
Yes.
And we just don't want to risk grabbing that from the ruin.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking that and forgot to actually verbalize it. We might also be avoiding swords, which contributes to the whole we don't need anything from the ruins at this moment. That's also because swords could be bad for our game if we don't want it right now. We're obviously squishy right now, but we cannot go hostile.
Yeah.
So if we want to utilize aiding as a consistent scoring avenue, We could potentially see no more explorers.
Twice.
Maybe at all, or at least until later in the game.
So one thing OneTooMany might be also taking advantage of is the table's innate fear of badgers
Yes.
to kind of get ahead now. And maybe that's also why we went with the adventure pick over the harrier pick to actually seem a little
Move here.
a little less
It's
threatening.
yeah, it's a form of sandbagging via faction pick. You're picking the vagabond character that will draw less heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically it. And then
And I mean,
So I just threw a Gregoola was like, yeah, and that's basically it.
we did the thing.
Yeah, we're molds. We did the thing.
can it be deleted? No, I cannot.
I don't quite follow what's happening with our.
Delete this
Doesn't want the mole manager.
stuff. Like
He's asking to have the mole manager deleted.
Just back. That's fine.
yeah, and swaying.
Same cards. Oh, new card.
Oh, we're skipping Mayor and going straight for Baron of Dirt.
Not this guy.
No,
I need
Er-
to.
Earl of Stone.
I think we're saying because we can't attack twice, we think we're trying to offset
It's fun.
it with more
Some
recruits.
guys on the map, and currently I have almost no
It's fun.
3, 4. Yep, that's.
I love seeing unconventional mole play.
Is unconventional mole play the new convention?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Better pools, you're not wrong.
Yeah, draw a card.
I'm super excited to see where this goes.
I would agree.
All right.
Let's see. Are we in camping at all? We could in 12,
We could in 12.
if so desired.
First, I encamp in 12.
Called it.
What do we have left? The jewelry, is that figure on the reverse side?
Way station.
Yes.
Yeah. Jewelry figure. And we've got some jewelry on the side of the
We
map.
got 3 attached to that clearing.
It's actually revealed. And I
There
guess
was a
it's too late now.
sword. There was a coins.
Sword coins.
2 pairs of boots.
Oops.
And 2 pair of shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not an animal. I wear 2 shoes.
So I'm
I can only donate
for a
one.
very long time I've been working on this route scene.
I think
I'll just say it out loud.
actually.
And there's one thing with the vagabond where it's like he stole 1 shoe. I don't know what you do with 1 shoe, but 1 shoe. I've always noticed that. It's like, why do you only want 1 boot?
Notably, we decamped in 9.
Interesting.
Should I recruit?
I wouldn't have done that, but that's because I like card draws.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the plan is there. Because exactly, that card draw is big. And Erie are going to come after us, way station or not.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Honestly, it'd be interesting to leave the way station and abandon it and make Erie choose
I go with-
between
Yeah.
going after warriors or going after points.
Exactly.
I love doing stuff like that where it's like you can go after what's good for you or what's bad for me. Which one do you want to do?
All right, actually,
Scorpion runners are with us forever.
Indeed.
I think I wouldn't mind blocking them the retinue.
yeah, so this is what's interesting about this is that it's 2 fewer bird cards for our retinue.
Yeah. I don't mind the Corvid Planers because I totally understand that, but
With a retinue, and I do 2 moves first.
okay, so we're just not recruiting, and that's I think where we're running away.
Are we going to zoom these over to 3 so that we can recover the figure this turn?
To 8.
I think we might split it and go to Yeah.
With
I guess
3.
the pinch point isn't as detrimental here because we have Corvid Planners.
In
Why do we take a 4th?
3. No battle, so
Now we live off the land.
So we can take.
Oh, we're going to bring it back.
We're bringing it back, yeah.
Got it.
which is a 1.
Oh, nice. That turned out to be safe.
That worked out nicely.
And then I go to move and recover.
I thought if we were gonna get the
I move back with.
I thought if we were gonna get the jewelry, we were gonna take 3 to 12 and leave the 1 and 3. That was my initial thought.
This worked out really nicely, actually.
Yes, this worked out quite nice.
The relics for 3
Nice.
points.
Not that it's ideal to get the low value relics first,
But now you know where the other 2 are as well.
yeah, I mean now you know what the others are, and this meant that you could safely delve, recover, and keep all your cards. Because again, that's huge.
That is huge.
So many Badgers games are undermined by burning your cards too early. Sometimes for very understandable reasons. Just
Burning cards is always a risk because you don't know how detrimental it's going to be in the long run.
exactly.
I just like think you sway as you talk.
Yeah, I know. I wiggle and she
Ooh,
sways.
I found a hammer.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, we lost a hammer.
Yeah, Johnny, I do not dislike the Sabo craft to protect Corvids personally. I just think it's interesting because if we consider that we have 2 factions looking to lock up bird cards, there are 14 of them in the game, and we've seen
Monster!
like 5 of them right now. That's just 2 out of rotation that we drew but didn't.
I'm not sure yet about where I'm placing them, but the anvil is going to the retinue. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I will say the tunnels is interesting because with Corvid planners, I still really like tunnels.
Tunnels is actually a really good craft for keepers, but I would feel bad not putting 2 cards into the retinue this turn.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I keep them.
And a Bunny Delve gets us some options for burning to grab relics in 3 or 8.
It does.
3 cards. Yes.
And then we can always burn the anvil to recover the jewelry if
so there's
need
a line
be.
of play here where I explore, hope to get a sword, and then get this juicy little bit of points. But I think I have something better. So I'm going to refresh the boot, the hammer. I'm going to slip into this forest, go to my daylight, and I'm going to use the boot to move into 7, and then I'm going to use the hammer to craft a root tea. To craft the root tea.
Yes! Oh, I'm startling the cat.
That's amazing. I am loving this adventurer game.
Terrifying, and I'm here.
I love that we're recognizing value from going off script, and we're taking it.
More actions. Evening. Repair. Nope. I'm on the forest.
I mean, it's hard to argue with 2 root teas.
It is.
That's fine. And my satchel's cool. Pass it up.
And that's
Okay.
4 points right there. I mean, that's just solid.
So one thing I love about Vagabond, which is a very weird way to start a sentence for me, is that they craft their items and get them off the table, and not only do they get points, but they deny points. And it's just like inherent into their system that they want items anyway.
Yeah.
Badgers, can I get a card?
Thirsty boy.
I have the most bird cards so far in the game.
Yeah, sure. Do you want?
Yeah, this adventurer over here, like 2-fisted in tea, like.
You need to flip them even.
Do you need shuffle them or anything?
No, it's all right.
Oh, where did I go?
Oh, yep. We saw nothing. The question is, how long until a forest now? That is indeed the question.
But nobody really seems scared by that.
I think OneTooMany wisely positioned themselves in a hard to reach place. There's no coincidence that they went to 7 and not something like 9 or even 2.
Yeah, because 2 was only 1 away.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Decree. I'm recruiting.
But with nobody saying anything, it's just kind of like, now what?
Yeah, I mean, so despite being an obvious, you okay there?
Yeah.
Despite being an obvious nuisance, you still got to deal with moles. You still got to deal with keepers.
Will be
Yep.
6-2.
And from their perspective, you still got to deal with God of War because we've been talking very very highly of God of War as the police here, but they are a strong faction that will threaten to win as well.
Yeah.
And Fox move will be
This isn't like this isn't a case of the underdog having to punch up to get a chance. This is a strong beefy faction just punching the other strong less beefy factions.
I just imagine this is like a
Play one.
3-way demolition derby with the adventurer hoping to drive a smaller car into this like 3-way fight, dogfight.
All right, we took out that way station.
Yep. Which was good. But again,
Point for that.
it was a situation where it's between the points for the Eerie or just hitting warriors.
Yeah.
And I think,
In 1.
and that's why I would have advocated for leaving the way station in 9, because getting someone else to split their attention, I think, is always a good plan.
Scoring 3, drawing 2 cards.
I will say, as we commentate, and I feel like I get more experience with these factions just talking about them, I really wish I had such good thoughts when I was playing the factions themselves, because I definitely don't. I'm not this insightful when I'm playing. I'm very, like, narrow-focused, and I'm like, this is bad.
It's easier to evaluate the game state and think about this stuff when you have an omniscient perspective and when you don't have the pressure of having to be on like at all times in the game.
I would argue against the word omniscience in the sentence you just said, but otherwise, yeah, I agree.
Sure.
If we were omniscient, we would know all of their hands.
This is true.
This is time I get to be pedantic.
Maybe more like semi-niscient.
No, there's a word for that.
I'm sure there is. I'm just being.
What is it? Oh, this is gonna kill me because it's third person omniscience and then third person. Crap! What is my English major good for? Nope, I got nothing.
To the Google.
This is bothering me.
A little niscient. just a dash of niscient.
If it's just limited, I'm going to be very annoyed.
All right, this is sorry. Being serious,
I think it's just limited.
This is a big mole turn because we had the unconventional Lord Sway last turn, which signaled a.
Yeah, it is just third person limited. I thought there was a more exciting word.
Oh,
I wanted a more exciting word. You let me down. You built up my expectations and let me down.
I think the English language let you down.
That's true. This is a big mole turn because it signaled a potential intent to pivot into building this turn, or it may have just been getting a Lord Sway while we could do it easily. We could easily sit on our laurels and just sway Mayor right now,
Yeah.
and be net neutral of the script.
Agreed. Well, I mean, we actually still have the ability to sway a lord.
We do.
But yeah, we don't necessarily. Oh, we've got 6 warriors in the borough. We might have a bit of a force to set up a building clearing.
Right. We have
so
options, and options are exciting
oh,
or crippling. You know, one of the. There's not much middle
I'm gonna
ground.
go with crippling. I vote crippling.
there is also this guy here.
So if you were moles,
I'm sure I get one in the
where would you set up
and then
as if you were setting up buildings?
It depends upon what cards you have in hand. We know we have coins and 2 boots,
Mhm.
so 6 or 3 are the ideal targets.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2-slot rabbit clearings.
I will recruit one guy.
Okay, so we gained our one, we recruited one. I think I would advocate for 6.
Sooner rather than later as well.
Yeah, and you too, and it's like everyone's
Yeah,
racing,
there's
and
a-
it's
There's a lot going on in this game, but I'm gonna have 5 roofs on the board. And
I forgot to grab a sweater.
that's a lot.
You can go grab it if you want to.
badgers
okay.
can hit you
I'll just be cold.
if they want.
I'll whine
Just
about it.
cannot
Yeah.
get there reliably.
Matches are indeed a lot closer to me than you are, so you might trust them to hit me. And there's a lot of relics around. I imagine I'm probably getting hit by the badges.
1, 2, dig.
It does seem like we are considering a
Yeah,
dig.
otherwise I will get ambushed. Not the end of the world, so I will dig.
Where are we heading? 5, 12, 11, 10, 11.
So, I'm going to say I don't like this.
And why is that?
Because, well, Erie can easily go through 2.
Or roosts.
I guess it's okay. Never mind. I forgot 2 existed.
That's the thing about the birds. They build 1 roost every turn because they have to.
Well, 5 is just too much.
Indeed. I would help you, but I don't have a sword. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, so there was daylight actions.
So, I did realize
guess
that
I
you
probably get
lied to
ambushed.
these players before the game
Yeah,
and
so
saying that fun was
so
banned. But your script had having fun was mandatory.
I didn't mention that part of the script to them.
You didn't, but it's in the script, so therefore you lied to them about the fun being banned.
Okay,
1-1. Not a big roll.
No.
what a great roll. And second battle, same place. So I guess no ambush as well.
No
right?
ambush.
Let's see.
There we go. We killed the roost
We
at
killed
least.
the roost at least, but didn't want to take any
Nice,
losses
don't
if we
hate
could have
it,
avoided
don't
it.
hate
At what cost? Yeah, losing the 2 warriors does suck.
Okay, and I'm gonna sway. And I will sway.
We picked up a sword. Okay. I don't.
We already revealed that last turn.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure we did reveal that, but I forgot.
Yes, you did.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just keeping them from you.
You sure you aren't going to be crafted soon? You know?
No.
Oh, come on.
So I think going after 11 was a combination of
You haven't swayed Maya.
setting up our sway, policing Erie, and opening up the potential to build in Fox instead of Bunny.
And,
So I think it's all around a really solid place to go.
bringed me massively at start.
I will say I love this double lord play.
Yes.
Like, I know we're hearing Gregoola say that we want to sway the mayor, but it's kind of nice to see them just go.
What's up, batches? Are we going to fight?
The suits. I'm in enough clearings that it supports this. I should just go for it.
Yeah, I've done some experimenting with this before, and it's really interesting because it absolutely hinders your action economy.
At some point, someone has to hit him.
But I
But-
know you've always advocated for a top-down sway approach if you can manage it.
But right, yeah,
Because Vagabond never wins
you're also eliminating some need for that action economy
Never
by
Winter Tournament even.
by
Dude,
getting your most difficult sways done as early as possible, and it just gets easier from here.
The strongest one, but they're
So if you don't need those actions for some other reason, it's theoretically better.
First I encamp.
And I love me a theory. I just realized you didn't bring me the food I asked for.
Oh shoot, I did not. I'm sorry.
I see a granola bar. I'll eat that.
We could also.
Nope.
Okay.
Nah, it's fine. I don't normally eat till like 10 anyway, so hopefully the game ends by 10. It's under your phone. See, that's how I knew, because you didn't know where it was, that you had no plans for eating it.
It's gonna make a bunch of noise. No biggie.
No biggie.
2 moves.
I think you moving the cat was the bigger deal, actually.
Have to have my arm up for the cat now. Don't sniff my.
Close it. Close your drink.
Ah, she's leaving.
Know which one yet.
Alright, we're recruiting with Charm Offensive. Charm Offensive actually could be really good here. This is turn 3?
I think it's a little late for Charm Offensive, if I'm being honest. Especially with Adventure about to pop off, Eerie in a pretty good position, Mole's in a pretty good position. I wouldn't even know who to feed.
I wouldn't either, but it's cards.
Yeah, unfortunately, we also need warriors, especially if people are starting to target us a bit more. I lied, I'm going to hit the
birds as well. Keep them down.
You obviously can't trust me, but by my judgment, they are in the strongest position right now.
I just got hit. Come on.
That doesn't change. Like, you're still playing the birds. You still have a pretty solid decree. You still have 3 roofs on the board. It's not that far until you suddenly have 5 again. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not. You obviously can't trust me. I'm playing root. I'm supposed to talk my own case, right? But don't underestimate the birds. I have lost 2 games in a row. The last 2 games I've won, it's always been like birds going under the radar. It's like,
yeah, the timing window for Charm Offensive
Last
is
game I lost because no one checked the moles enough. So
sublime.
Oh, that is why you were hitting me like
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
that. Explains
That's
a lot.
the cool thing about this faction setup is we have 3 factions that each have to be checked and also have to check each other. It's kind of cool.
4.
That was nice foreshadowing. Like there are 3 factions that need to be checked. Not
No, there are
Vagabond
3.
at all.
There are 3.
Yeah,
There are
no.
of the 4 factions, 3 of them
No,
have
Vagabond
to be
with 2
checked
Ts.
and also have to check each other. I
No,
can't check
not-
anyone. I don't have a sword. Like, how do you check somebody?
And you have 2 Ts. That's like dream thing. Living the dream.
I think OneTooMany was trying to go. It's the whole sentence, not the half and half.
If someone should hit
But
you,
everyone just hears the half and half.
Well, it's also a not.
For me to hit the vagabond as well.
It is also a not uncommon bit of
Even if
like surreptitious table talk to plant little seeds like that in the
Oh,
sentence
absolutely.
to try and just prime people's brains for that. Like if
yeah, I do think so.
you frame the conversation in the right way, it will help direct people's thinking in the right way. And
There.
basically, Root is a game of psychological warfare.
Then daylight, no craft. Back to retinue. 2 moves.
A turn where badgers didn't craft? I'm shocked.
Oh.
So we lost the ability to recover in Fox, but we could still move into 12 and move out from there.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, we'd need a pretty large force to outrule Erie and do that.
No, I don't keep.
We're setting up for it.
Okay, there.
We are. That's what I'm leading toward here. Because Pooj just said the same thing in chat. I think Badgers want to police birds earlier rather than later. They're the ones that will be competing with them for a rule. So yeah, I think we... Oh, no, never mind.
Go to 7.
I think this would be a good time to go after the Erie ball in 12, but that's not happening. Never mind. My attempt to, like, naturally build the conversation toward the action as it happened failed.
I use my rabbit card to do a battle delve in clearing 3.
One thing I've learned over my many years of DMing is never expect the players to do what you want them to do.
And hope it's a 3. It is.
It burns the card.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye, tunnels. And we cannot recover that safely.
Which is another reason I expected them to go up to 12, because it would have been...
And then I battle in 7.
No
with-
ambush.
No ambush.
1 in 16. Come on.
Through 1. So that's a 4 hit.
Damage. Sorry, I gotta think about if I can even do something on my next turn. If I damage 4 items right now. I think the answer is no. I'm just double checking.
Yeah, they may feel that the mole's attack on the Erie was enough, quote unquote. But I agree, you can never hit the birds enough. When they're going no turmoil charismatic, it is just
Take a red
its entire game plan is built on a slow, steady, unstoppable force.
And a 3-1 battle would have been pretty brutal in clearing 12
And it's
for the Eerie, and I would have loved to see it.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to.
5 damage to 4 items.
All right, we got the 2. That's pretty nice. Just gonna double check the vagabonds. All right, we damaged 1 T, torch, hammer, boot.
With this setup, we actually can avoid going into the forest. If we'd wanted to.
Yeah,
It takes 2 turns to recover it, but we still can do things while we're recovering.
yeah.
Now, do we want to burn another card?
We definitely do not, but the 2 makes a pretty solid argument for doing this, taking it over and recovering both of those.
With me.
Because getting both of those at the cost of a card is
No.
better. If you can 2 for 1, that at least makes it,
Feel a little bit better.
yeah. It also depends somewhat on what cards we have in hand. You know, if we have a couple more birds, I feel more enabled to burn those that card for those relics. If
That looks like a protection.
2 more.
We're living at the land either way. But this...
2 more. And then with I did that with the dominance move. And then with the Fateful Retainer, I'm going to recover
okay,
the relics.
I thought we were building up to a non-recover.
Yeah, 4,
I think we're just moving it so we can move back across to 8.
Then I lose the retainer.
Because, like I said, we were going to live off the land in one of the clearings anyway. So this could have been a ploy to make it so it's only 1 clearing and not both.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Live off the-
Spicy.
I lose one badger.
So that gives us 2 figures and 2 jewelry. We have 2
Then gather it.
column bonuses set up for the next 2 tablets that we are able to recover.
On the other side of the board, which might also be why we moved more south, just to start moving across.
Yeah, well, this is why I was surprised we abandoned 9 so readily, because we had that 8-9 setup that quote unquote solved our migration problem, and then we created the migration problem for ourselves.
But we also negated it with Corvid planners.
Oh right.
We have Corvid planners. You
I
don't have
forgot.
to freaking worry about movement. Once you did that, you're like, yeah, you can do whatever you want.
No, yeah. You're right. I forgot we had Corvid planners. That's
So slow for me
on me.
about all these things.
Don't worry about it. Keepers is a complex faction.
Yeah, I have what you guys.
I will always remember Corvid planners.
I don't either.
That's not true, but
So don't worry.
I'm just very tired.
Oh, perfect.
I can't say I am not. But I can't say I'm surprised either.
So I think what we need to think about is how many.
Battle delve.
What is the goal of our next turn?
3 cards. Oof. And then
Basically, is the. I don't want to.
I think it looks like we're heading more towards 4 and 9.
Okay.
Yeah, this could be setting up to move toward 4 and 9. The thing I was gonna say is we need to just.
What happened here?
Oh no, we are going to the forest. Okay.
Okay.
It's repaired and refreshed.
Finishing my thought on keepers real quick. We need to decide if we were actually going to delve on our next turn, or if we were just going to head to the other side of the map and try to plant there. It looks like we might actually be planning to delve, or at least
I have to discard 2 cards, so let's go.
Or at least battle.
battle. We don't have to delve. You don't see it very often, but there's value in putting cards into that column just so you can battle.
The crafting cards. And Fox Partisans.
We got rid of Master Engravers, which always feels bad.
That does feel bad.
I will say I'm wondering if OneTooMany, every time he wants to help somebody else, just spawns a new Waterman's Law. I would love to do that just to see how many times how many Waterman laws I have at the end of it.
Swap me the Badgers again.
Good morning.
Sure.
Yeah, Pat, it's called Root.
I thought we were playing checkers.
We did joke about that. Was that on stream or off stream?
That was off stream.
Off stream.
There's a card for you.
The players were doing a bit that they didn't know what game we were playing or how to play it.
What game is this? How do I play it? It's not Ahoy?
Putting a bird card in recruit.
That should be made a card, Griffin Hawk. What's our bird count
Moving on to
now, by the way?
crafting.
1, 2.
Oh shit.
I'm going to craft false orders and coffin maker.
The saboteurs on the board on the badges.
Yeah, well-
So we're not like I'm just announcing to the board and reminding the badges that they have it.
And badges are like, that is for saboteurs only, my friend.
This coffin locked.
It's a saboteurs for the saboteurs.
Aha. This is the new location of coffin cams, apparently. Going right next to the faction boards.
Well, then I should have maybe not discarded. If you're going to get rid of the saboteurs, oh no. I didn't know.
They're moving it on you.
They're moving it on me. Chiroscu,
Where do I want to do with my little guys here?
Chiroscu, I do agree. There's a not insignificant opportunity cost to spending your.
Mainly digital player. I don't know if Badgers or moles are more scary right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
They have a lot of plate ministers, but they also don't have the ones that actually do anything.
Yeah, Banker and the one that copies Banker.
Well, not necessarily Banker, but yeah, they don't have Mayor, so at least for a turn they're not that scary. But they do have 2 of the lords, which means when they pivot to Swole, they start gaining points fast. They have 4 boys in the thing. They have a shit ton of cards for crafting in their hand. That's a lot of points. So they might be really scary. I'm not sure. I think they might be, but if they pivot and go crafting, then they're also that lord doesn't synergize, so they lose. I believe. Yeah, it settles. Yeah, if they go crafting with go markets, the Earl of Stone doesn't do anything except protect the Duchess of Mud, I suppose.
Or is it the Duchess who protects the Earl?
They're definitely not out of the game for sure, but
She can clearly be the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
I think the Badgers have they have this left, and then they're exhausted, and then they start losing gas. Like then they have to start migrating across the map, which isn't easy. That's again another. But then when they do,
I am surprised Gregoola is not piping up here.
juicy left side, and not
I'm surprised that
going there because
Not that Gregoola is the most talkative player, but
They can just walk through everything now too.
oh yeah, right, they have covert planners. Yeah, yeah.
somebody found it.
OmegaKnight found it.
It's a bit of a migration, but they have a lot of moves. They can move twice, then they're 9, get the thing, and then they can so. And what's their
Everything is scary. Everything is bad.
Yeah.
in tablets? That's when they start gaining a ton
Yeah.
of points. So yeah,
Tablets are
it's
far
a
away.
it's a hard judgment, man. So put
OneTooMany.
battle and hit both.
What?
Uh,
we went full goofy.
More.
yes, that would be helpful.
Okay, then if you're
Aid
somewhere I
strat.
can aid, I will aid.
I will say, OneTooMany
Or at least
controlling the
you're
narrative.
easier.
Very good for them.
OneTooMany feels like by far the heaviest table talker here.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think it's gonna work out well.
For you, depending on
That's a very
my plan.
apt position for a vagabond to be in.
Hmm.
Particularly for the tournament meta with Despot Infamy Vagabond. The Vagabond has to play all sides of the table against each other and really try to keep things at parity so that Vagabond
Recruit in 6.
can keep up and eke out a win.
Mhm.
So
And I mean, OmegaKnight asking about the other 2 factions was already a good moment for OneTooMany to
What do you
make
use?
to talk about how scary they both are.
Sorry for that analysis. I'm trying my best here.
I think that the analysis was fine. The only real miss was the lack of forward planners.
I
Yeah.
think I'm just going to take the easy point right now.
But to finish my thought from 20 minutes ago, Churroski, I agree. Master Engravers has a pretty massive opportunity cost for a Vagabond because it means you're utilizing your 2 hammers.
What other way station?
Oh, I thought Churroski was talking about coffin makers.
I thought it was Master Engravers.
I just wanted to make sure that
I don't know.
if they had both tablets.
Yeah, Master
okay.
Engravers.
That would be really annoying.
It's a huge opportunity cost using your 2 hammers on that as opposed to something that's more actively engine building.
Turning in this thing is going to be.
And it does draw heat in a big way.
The next turn.
Also, good morning, Heroic Logic.
For a second. Oh.
But that's the only argument for not taking
No.
the point, I think.
Yeah.
Weren't there 4 guys here?
So,
What? Yes,
Yeah, he
I got 2 recruit now.
This is the one time I actually would argue
Oh.
to take
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh,
I think-
oh shit!
Yeah.
What's going on?
30 seconds.
Catch, good catch.
what happened?
Well, the move was going to be.
Oh, did we recruit to 12?
Direction anyways.
Yes,
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Sorry, I just needed.
I think I still would go for 8 here,
Correct.
and I'll tell you why.
The only argument for not taking the point is that they have to choose between either the tablet turn in. Like,
No, they don't.
can't turn in both.
Yes, I can.
Can I? What? My head.
And you
Um,
get one
It doesn't
recruit
fucking
left.
matter.
Because you can encamp in 7 and 3,
But I
so
also need points.
you can find a way. The
Uh,
reason I would,
Do whatever you think helps.
If they remove 8.
if they remove 8, but they can just move. I don't know. The reason I would remove 8 is because they don't have the movement limitation of rule. You want to have the movement limitation of they only have 2 cards and the space. So they can't recruit an 8 and move even farther into
Yeah,
the left side of the
recruit.
map.
4 and 6.
Because right now they could recruit up at 8 and then just move into 4 and then be positioned
Move
in 4
3
instead.
to 2.
Yeah, it.
Move
Ooh.
2 to 12.
I wonder if we're staying in 7 and then we're gonna go in 4 and 9
And move
and have the safety of the mice.
We might.
3 to 8.
I think that'd be really cool.
12.
I like it. Yeah, because here now they can only get to 9.
Battling Badgers in 8.
Well, at least before
Is there
their
ambush?
battle delve.
I'm not sure yet.
They're not sure yet. They should look at their hand and find out then.
I wouldn't ambush here because we're gonna lose it no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good ambush. Card is. It's like moles ambushing. The individual card itself is so valuable to you.
Okay.
You really need to make sure it's an ambush of value to utilize it, and this is not an ambush of value. Unless the consideration we're thinking of is, do we need to thin out clearing 8 to more? No, because we have core planners. Never mind.
Not forgetting anything. Build in 12.
That was gonna be my only argument. Is like maybe it's a proactive minimizing of warriors in 8 so we can more easily move through it, but that's not even a consideration. So yeah, I think there is no world where we should ambush there
Points, draw 2 cards.
based on what I can perceive of the game state. So 11 stayed empty. We didn't get punished there. We still, in fact, I don't think we got hit at all, right? So we have free reign to do our thing. We could build. OmegaKnight's crafting improvement stack is giving you OCD. What did they do? Oh yeah.
That's totally fair.
I like Gregoola's table talk in the sense that there's never any bullshit. That's true. He's a straight shooter,
I think, Greg, you're muted.
and as someone who appreciates straight shooting,
Oh yeah, sorry.
I appreciate that.
Turn in while I was coughing. I turned off.
So another thing to just take into consideration for chat, I think Gregoola is playing while
Very
sick.
I know his wife is
Is
sick, and
I think he's starting. I think he's a
Compared
little.
to moles.
He's also seems to have a cough,
I
so.
don't know.
What mobile? Like I can pivot once and that's it. And
But it was also his choice to play because he subbed in.
yeah,
the
he.
number of points.
I appreciate him stepping up to sub.
Oh, absolutely.
We had a player with hardware failure in the last night.
Yeah, well, the badgers might want to try and clear out this roost to get a double whammy of delving and also killing a roost. But that's up to them, of course. Oh, they don't have the battles. Yeah,
Yeah, only one battle.
one battle.
It actually was the exact same game.
So
Wow.
that's basically
It's Keeper and Iron, Vagabond Adventurer, Eerie, and Moles. Positioning was different though.
basically I need to
Was it Winter Map?
do some damage. But badgers, can you
Yes.
sabo that coffin?
Yes, it was.
With this,
Yeah,
this game would be short.
yeah,
Would
I
be
will.
a very short game.
But you can help me remember.
Troska, that's a very good point.
This might be an out of place clearing to go swollen if you're doing it this turn. The birds and the badgers will both have a hard time getting to you.
Problem is
The Badgers. We'll have a hard time getting
I
there.
cannot hit birds.
That's fine.
Yes, why not? So yeah, I have a sort of dilemma. So I
Do you think you're going to win if you go swole? Do you think you're going to get outraced? Or do you think you need to police? It's a very hard judgment. Because you also
yeah,
have-
I think how it looks now, I need to hit the birds because they are.
Yeah, well, you already have a warrior in one, so maybe just planting yourself there harder. Just getting a foothold there, maybe.
I think maybe 5.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe 5. Maybe.
Yeah, 5. Then you can later use that to pivot if you ever get
Yeah,
6 or 1
maybe.
cleared.
Exactly. Maybe later on. Yeah, let's try it this way. So I will. Dick.
What's our bird count at? That's a bird card.
5.
Badgers do have a sabo for the coffin, yes. They preemptively crafted a sabo, potentially just to protect their Corvid planners.
I believe it was
Guys.
the Corvid Planners, yeah.
And OmegaKnight, knowing this, still crafted the coffin makers anyway, and said, come at me, bro.
Said they.
Nefernefer has conveyed an intent
Okay,
to saboteur the coffin makers.
Actions.
I honestly wouldn't,
First, I will use.
unless I saw the points going kind of crazy, because Nefer is 2 away, and there's only a Vagabond between them and the. It's like going right before them, since the Vagabond doesn't have a sword. So you know how many points that you're getting on your turn.
It is break time, so I will hit
Yes.
birds here. Ambush.
No ambush.
Mole's showing a very strong interest in Fox. I guess maybe we're going after the sword over the coins.
I think so.
2 and 1.
To the coffin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Coffin can.
And another battle.
I think that you don't have to do it immediately. Is all I
Unless
was
you-
more advocating
No
for.
ambush, no.
All right. So the nice thing about this strat is because we did sway Duchess already, we will get 2 points for having 3 tunnels on the map.
Oh wow! I didn't even notice the 3 tunnels.
Yeah, we're getting to
Early.
do a little bit of eating our cake and having it too by policing while also getting the Lord points.
Are Mole's gonna get to 15 points this turn?
And we're going to be able to sway, most likely.
What did Mole started at 9? We already did it. We already got our points for
Sway.
that.
With
Duchess.
The
Duchess.
same card since.
Thought we didn't get Duchess points yet, and I was like, what?
Oh.
Yes, get that. Our Baron.
This is wild.
Let's go. I love this. All right, Brigadier, that's enough actions. Let's go, our lords.
3 points. 3 points.
This is wild. Yeah, Schmidt. I would agree that moles are, if not the best faction, then certainly in close contention for it. And that's why.
Sabotage.
Oh, we are going to be we're going to be gambling at the end of this
Sure.
round.
Yeah.
Turn 4 gamble. What the hell?
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, because we went for the lords of the noble. That's why the early policing is so important, because it does meaningfully limit their options to if you police them early on. But they
Close the coffee.
are resilient enough that they can get back into
It's in daylight, so.
the
Oh,
game.
it's first.
They are the epitome
Right.
of tub thumping, right?
It's right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The craft. Yeah.
Please.
Crafting sabotage. This is daylight.
I love how she's got like lazy eyes going too, just like the.
We were
Yeah.
trying to remind you, man. You asked us.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and you did perfect. So I use the saboteurs and take.
Okay, so we are saboteuring the coffin. It's just too scary.
I hope we retrieved the warriors from there before closing it up and throwing it away.
I think we did.
I hope so.
I heard like the chink of going to bags.
I heard the chink of the coffin closing.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know.
Do.
The birds.
What? I just got hit. Look at all those moles. Somehow marked
Ooh.
over there.
You can also encamp down here, just in case you don't know.
Where?
You can do it once per clearing. You can have more than one in each clearing.
Ah, yeah. It's. Mm-hmm.
Helping.
You have fourth water mineral?
This is tactical gasoline on the fire.
There.
I will.
Every time you help, you get a water mineral.
Me a target, I guess.
We have one battle in the decree at the moment.
Mm. I feel like whatever I do, it's a mistake. So perhaps it doesn't get better by thinking about it too long.
I think Gregoola is playing a really good mole game, I want to
Mhm.
say.
Consider.
I love it.
Not just good because he's playing it well, but good because I think he's
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
he's being smart enough to recognize how to go off script
Is it too?
In a way that's still
for maximum
putting him in
efficiency.
relief. Yeah.
Well,
what's really interesting is
Yeah.
the way that Gregoola playing this game, because this is considered off script. It's actually in a weird way making the other players less afraid of them,
right.
which is strange because we're still leading in points.
Right. I think
We're still totally scary.
I think maybe this is making me realize that perhaps the narrative around moles focuses too strongly on Banker being the problem, because that's the thing that the table talk fixated on when we were discussing moles' position a minute ago, was that they don't have their big, ministers, the Banker Mayor combo.
Well, what's really interesting to me is I've actually been keeping track of when the ministers are swayed. Typically, Banker's not swayed till turn 6 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not an early game thing.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So you wouldn't necessarily see it at this point anyway.
Right. No,
Yeah.
that is not the thing you need to be afraid of as moles.
But like the fact that we don't need to have as much. The fact that we don't need to have as much territory anymore because we have all of our big guys out. We don't need to care about having 4 clearings. We can just have 3 clearings now and be fine.
Right. This is the dream of what Greg has. Greg's approach is the approach of swaying your lords as quickly as possible. The dream is to not be punished for that, and therefore to have all of your options available to you in the late game.
Delilah Spring, the biggest thing that moles have done off script right now is, well, 2 things. One, they didn't sway Mayor, just at all. 2, they have all 3 of their lords.
To state it plainly, their sways were Brigadier turn 1, Earl of Stone turn 2, Duchess turn 3, Baron turn 4. They do not have Mayor. They do not have Formal or Marshal.
But they do have 3 tunnels on deck.
So granted, this has been enabled by the table not policing in a certain way. There's been some policing against moles, but not a lot. And it specifically has not been against tunnels. So there is an amount of the table not policing that is enabling this.
I don't.
But Greg is also...
I thought she's sticking her face in your face.
I know.
She's like, Pat, nay! Sorry.
Greg is playing a low-key, terrific moles game here that defies the conventional script, and that's why I'm calling it out so much. As a mole connoisseur...
This is the script that Guerric always wants to follow.
This is the script that I would love to be able to experiment with more.
All the badgers from 3 to 8. And then I have 2 battle delves. I will use the mouse. Battle delve in 2. Do you want to use an ambush birds?
No ambush.
So it's really interesting how we keep leaving the nice. It's interesting that we keep leaving the way station just by themselves, and I kind of like it because with this setup, somehow that's giving them full rule. And it's just like, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it was a 3. That's a 5-point statue right there.
And then I
Yeah, abandoning way stations is smart on multiple levels because like you said, it's
8.
Battling Eerie and 8.
like that.
I love seeing them battling without the roosts just because it takes away the easy roosts.
Yeah.
It takes away the safety.
3.
Not the role we were hoping for, but still, killing everything.
The 3 is nice.
That would have been a whole point with a coffin.
But yeah,
should craft coffin makers.
abandoning the way stations is nice, particularly if you can still rule, as we do here, and if it's maybe
No, I can't do that.
baiting the table into eating them to solve your positional problems, which I think is also true here. I don't think these way stations are necessarily where we want them and or on the side we want them. So abandoning them makes them more likely to be removed and therefore allow us to encamp them where we want, while still getting our card draw from not having to decamp them.
So Badger has just realized we cannot move and recover that relic in 1 turn.
How inclined are you to hit me on your next turn, do you think?
Who?
I thought that was a little odd.
Me.
No.
Me.
Or any one of you. I mean,
Oh, I think the
Does-
moles are the next thing to check right now. They
Um,
ahead in points, and they have all of the protection for going swole. They might not have the brig, but they are sliding under, I think. So I think those would be the next in line to win.
Yeah, Delilah, that is probably the number one mistake new players make as moles. That or building right away.
At least.
Those are the 2 big things people
The birds might be incentive.
do erroneously on their first
Gonna give
moles plays.
If I was ever able to play moles, and I can't because I'm after Guerric and draft, I think I would always, my dream would be to sway top to
I
bottom.
would like a second attack bird card.
You would you?
Yeah.
So if you got a bird card, that's where it would go.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like the table talk wandered away from what Nefer was asking.
about my
Let's leave them on the map, please.
I have now. If it's
I would go back to 7 and just sit there.
nah, 7 is
And make it a 3-point clearing?
It's also 2 away from anybody.
that's my last action. No,
I mean, it's a 2 away that Eerie could reach pretty easily and drop a warrior off in 3 and maybe do
gather red.
a battle there if they want.
That's fair. I'm not sure who was advocating for hitting the moles.
Oh,
Surprised we're not doing the Saboteur's Corbin protection again.
there. So I put 2 cards, 1 in battle and 1 in move, recover.
It's possible that we were doing it as an actual preemptive anti-coffin makers play.
Possible.
It's possible we don't realize there are 3 saboteurs in the deck. That's a common misconception.
All right.
Which I thought I'd fix by doing a deck composition article.
We had 15, right?
Yep.
We're on. Yeah, it's time to gamble.
Gamble, 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 gamble.
We probably should have hyped that up more as it came up. But yeah, Greg hit 15. It's time to gamble, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up to a gamble.
First of all, let's
Okay, so it looks like OneTooMany was the one advocating for.
aid the birds up here.
OneTooMany was advocating for hitting the moles.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are now friends.
I guess I should be indifferent to the other two.
That gets me a point. Secondly, use the bag and use and damage the torch to complete this red quest for 2 points.
Didn't want to get rid of our boot.
Oh, no reds. Thirdly,
That's sad.
That is sad.
Now
Again, this
for
speech
eight.
is not
then
what we wanted to
hammers
see.
to craft a coins for 3 points.
Griffin Hawk, yes, the composition article is available on Makecraft Game in the Woodland section under Game. And of course, always can grab some MCG merch.
Okay.
We have plenty. Don't have that much. Should probably get more.
A lot to think about here.
There's a lot to think about here.
So much to think about. Neos Marcos, it hasn't closed yet. We're only like 75%. We have 75% left.
There's time for some Keepers fans to hop in.
I'll
Let's
do it.
swap with the moles.
It's funny how turn like 2 we were talking about how this could potentially be the game where Gregoola is eliminated, and now here we
Gregula's
are
just
like
oh heck no.
we're like, all right, Gregoola's got this in the bag, right? Let's go home.
I mean, I feel like this whole table is giving everyone the run for their money.
No, I mean they're all playing really really strong games. I think maybe the threat assessment has gone a little sideways to underestimate moles.
Well, I mean, OneTooMany has currently advocated for the whacking of moles.
Right. It's potentially too little, too late.
Potentially. The question is what... And I mean, I think Badgers was swayed by that statement of I can play it safe, but was Erie actually swayed by that of this is the threat and I should go after them? Has yet to be seen.
And part of the problem right now is that OmegaKnight
How false orders works.
has an incredibly juicy false orders keepers play.
You choose.
Guerric?
Yeah, we can ask Guerric.
Oh no.
Hello, please state the question.
If I move Badgers with false orders, do I move the relic or do they choose to move the relic?
You, the player using false orders, makes the choice of whether to move the relic or not move the relic, along with the warriors being moved.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a 3-point clearing. Well, it could be a 3-point
No,
clearing.
it's a 3-point clearing with only one warrior if you false orders correctly.
Is an option.
Disgusting.
Moles is also scary, so
Mm-hmm.
Griffin Hawk, I wish that was true because we have so many of them.
Conservatively.
It's almost like we have an infinite amount.
he shouldn't say it that he wants to do it now.
I just realized how much you could crash the
Yeah.
economy by betting.
I could, yeah. I don't know. Am I allowed to bet?
You are, because then you wouldn't be able to predict, you wouldn't be able to select the outcome because I would have to do it.
Like, it's gonna take away like
Really?
all the warriors.
Because when I bet, it says I'm not allowed to predict the outcome anymore.
The moles from
You give up the ability to predict the
unless you
outcome
pop in just
if you
win,
choose to bet.
Yeah.
which is what happened in my last game.
Yeah.
The house always
What I'd say is
wins.
it might be better to keep it just because the threat of
Yeah.
it itself is really strong.
It will take a lot of turns for me to go to the other side of the board.
Yeah, I'm more scared of moles, even though that looks
Juicy.
Okay.
nice points. But
Okay. So I think OmegaKnight is giving up on the greed play and is going to police moles, which I
let's
do think is better
Got one.
for the
Long
game
game
state
turn.
and for their game.
Yeah, I agree.
do I want to drop a second card?
I don't think the short-term gains gets them the win in the
And if I
end.
do,
Yeah.
what would it be?
Oh, the gamble is closed.
Ooh, we have a second Saboteurs locked up.
Uh, 2 people gambled for the Erie Dynasty, 1.5k coins, 5% of the vote. 3 people
A second
gambled
box into move.
for the Adventurer, 2.9k coins, 10% of the vote. 1 person gambled for the Keepers in Iron, 2k coins,
No, this is
7%.
stolen from me.
And 5 people gambled for the Underground Duchy, 21.2k coins, 77% of
Moving on
the vote.
to crafting.
It's interesting that moles have 77% of the vote when they have just under 0.5% of the
Lot
people.
easier.
Because it's 5 out of 11, and I don't know that math, but just go with just under half.
Yeah, giving this bird card to birds would have been maybe not that great.
We have 20 Fox Mouse.
Moving on to recruit.
I think
OneTooMany, not pretty confident no one's going to attack them. I would say recruiting into that forest does not seem like the smartest move.
no, it really doesn't. We're kind of trapped there now. I think if we could wipe out 5, that'd be awesome. I think 11 is the more likely target because it's easier.
I mean, I would argue if you could do 11 and 1, that would be the dream.
11 and 1? That would be the dream. That would be the dream.
Because then you get both tunnels out, so they have to dig twice to come back on board for
4
Duchess.
in 12.
Yeah. Schmidt, thank you so much for the sub. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Moving 2 birds up to from 12 to 2. Moving 1 back for a fox and a mouse move.
I think we're only going after 1. Which I don't know how I feel about.
I know how I feel about it. I don't like it.
Moving 3 from 12 to 1. Thank you, tunnels.
I specifically...
Oh, we have tunnels.
True. Never
I
mind.
forgot we had tunnels.
We just crafted it and I already forgot.
I didn't notice that one. We were talking. I got distracted.
Moving 3 from 1 to 11.
Okay. Okay. I would have taken an extra warrior or 2 from 12, but I like this.
No.
Battling mole.
I mean, we gotta keep that martial law up.
Do you have ammo,
Clearly.
or would you like to play one?
I will not play one.
3 something. 3 something.
Oh. Not what I wanted, at least.
One
Died.
total.
It was 11, right?
Battling moles and 11 again.
Go for it.
2-0.
We got a 3-0 over the course of both battles, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
They were good.
But it would have been
people.
it would have been some legitimately great policing if we could get both 1 and 11.
Agreed.
Getting just 11 is not nothing, but it is
11.
not great.
Yeah, not what we wanted for sure.
Yeah.
Score 3, draw 2 cards.
Greg's looking at the discard. What's Greg looking for?
The Sabos, clearly.
End turn.
Okay, one more appears.
Yeah, because we only lost 1 tunnel, it's pretty easy to get Duchess back online.
Yes.
Granted, without 4 mold, that would be sacrificing a potential build,
Oh my god.
which sacrifices a potential Baron/Earl point, which is maybe fine. I don't know that we were planning to pivot this turn anyway. It's just something to mention.
I wonder, do you leave 1 lightly defended to kind of hope that the the Erie goes after 1 instead of coming after 5?
Potentially. Because we've signaled a pretty strong intent to go after Fox instead of Bunny, and I think that's only more likely to remain true with both coins now gone.
Yeah. I mean,
We still have the boots, of course, but
but we have 4 out of the 4 Fox craftables on the table.
Okay.
And we have some of them in our hand.
The hammer's locked up in the retinue right now.
Okay, it's still there. I wasn't sure if it got burnt or not.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's
it's-
still
it's
still
still
there. But there's 2 crossbow cards for 1 item, and there's
One
3...
of the crossbows is in the decree.
Is it?
Okay, I will recruit one.
You're right. So there's 1 crossbow card out there, and there's some combination of sword cards out there. It's a total of 3, and I'm not seeing any immediately out.
And we know we have one in hand.
We know we have 1 in hand.
I'm wondering if maybe that's what Greg was looking for, was either crossbow or swords.
It might have been. I can't recall if we've seen any swords discarded.
Neither can Greg.
Then I will dig.
Jurosku, I do think Duchess is a little underrated, but I think it's hard when the max point she can get you is 2, while the other ones are 3.
Moro, you missed it by a round.
You did.
Here.
I'm sorry, Moro.
Yeah, that seems like.
That's fair.
I think the key thing is recognizing when...
I'm scared of that.
Who's the most consistent in what situation?
Yeah. Because I think this is a little comparable to something like No Terminal Despot versus No Terminal Charismatic.
This way administer actions, so
The small to swole game plan that we typically see for moles is incredibly consistent in the same way that No Terminal Charismatic is incredibly consistent. In the right situations, though, I think there is potential for greater gain with the less consistent but more potent strategy, such as a No Terminal Despot or a
you want to ambush?
small mole or Lord Heavy play, like whatever we're seeing here, whatever you want to call it. Something not unconventional has the potential to do better.
Oh, of course. Single one. Right.
Churosku, I'm also going to say the cost of digging,
They will
depending on where you're at, could be potentially spent on other things as well, depending on your turn.
Okay.
You might need it for swaying, which could be a reason against Duchess.
Duchess and Building Lords are not mutually exclusive like Bird Leaders. True, but also not true, because there's a strict sway tempo. And you will potentially have to sacrifice. You are making choices about what you sway.
Worthless.
So while they're not 100% mutually exclusive, they are potentially conflicting with fitting into your sway tempo.
Yeah, so I will just get rid of that. Like this one.
What do we just take?
Dom swapping.
Dom swapping. Interesting.
And I will.
I love seeing a Dom swap
No,
by anyone other than lizards.
this guy.
Oh, we're going for banker over mayor.
2 points.
Uh-oh, we're really in trouble. We have the most powerful minister.
Yay.
Not gonna lie, the moles are looking really scary right now.
Yeah.
I'm
I think-
curious why we Dom swapped.
I think just
Since it was a like if it was a bird card, I'd understand, but it being a mouse card, I was kind of
Try to migrate.
I think it was just trading a mouse card that's useless for us to
a different mouse card that's useless for us.
a different mouse card that's useless for us that denies it from anybody else and can potentially keeps it under our control if we want it in the future or something. Kind of. It's an interesting choice. I'd love to hear Gregoola's thoughts on why he did it, to see if there's a greater logic that I'm missing. Like, was it to ward off any sort of Dom play? Was it instinct from playing digital to just shut down a coalition? Was it
But that would be all I do this turn then.
Was it for some other reason? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That works out great for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that statue's not a 5. I forgot that we're looking at.
Oh, swap meet denial, maybe? It, again, it was spending a card that was useless for us, but maybe it's making our hand look less appealing.
I'm sorry, Over the Morrow. My hacking skills aren't up to par where I could have hacked into Twitch and bet for you. I'll get better at it, I promise.
Guess what I can do is also just take the lone mole in 4.
Taking out lone moles isn't doing nothing. I mean, it might be a little bit more at this point. Actually,
I think this is a threat level red moment. I do think the table needs to unite against moles.
So if he wants to pivot, he wants to do it on a 2. Please. Odds are.
Trosker, we all want to be Gregoola.
Because that's why he already has his dude.
minus the sick part.
Very close to building slot clearings. You aren't really going to be annoying him with swaying because you already got everything that's hard to sway. So killing the mole in 4 does nothing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
What OneTooMany said is exactly right. We are past the point of
Position to hit.
picking off individual moles mattering a ton because Gregoola got all the lords already. So, I mean, this has to just be wiping tunnels off the map,
If he gets the
wiping the dense mole clusters off the map.
What do you need, my man?
I will say, so far, I want to give an A+ to OneTooMany for their board state analysis and table talk. It's been great.
And again, I really like their adventurer game so far. I think
Be bad.
they unfortunately are ending up in a game that had a runaway player, which is the worst thing that can happen to a vagabond in the tournament environment. But I think if things had managed to stay at parity,
Nice.
adventurer would be really threatening the win.
Yo, No Turmoil Despot is my jam. Like, I love doing me a No Turmoil Despot. I also love actually specifically turmoiling.
many turns.
I've done that before too, but I do remember that game. I forgot I played in that game on GTS. Who else was in that game? Because it wasn't you.
No, was it Sam?
It might have been.
Or was it Sam?
It might have been a Sam. It could have been Kyle. No, I think it was Jake.
Was it Jake?
I'm just gonna go through all of them.
Sam and Jake were commentating.
Which means that it was Kyle who's playing.
Okay.
It doesn't help me.
It's on.
Because I remember we did it I think we did it for Good Time Society. We played a game with...
That was me, you, Sam, and Sam, and there was top Sam and bottom Sam.
Yeah.
Nope. Griffin Hawk, who was the 4th player?
Will I encamp?
Griffin Hawk's just teasing me now.
Just how many points do they get if they score 2 tablets?
10. Max.
10 max.
Forgetting how much badgers can actually burst. I don't
It
think
could be
they're.
eight
It's
points.
It's 7 to 10 range.
2, 3.
I think the moles are close
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
bursting to a win.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just. If I go full aggro on moles, how many
the
turns
build-
do I
the-
give
Mm.
badgers
Too
free?
much room.
Four things to get.
I've got... I was going to say, poor OmegaKnight's going to get mole PTSD after losing both tournament games to moles.
Oh, did we lose our first tournament game to Moles too?
Yeah.
Moles are a good faction, and
Sword.
I think that one thing Gregoola did early game was put a lot of heat on Badgers. And even though OmegaKnight didn't fully give into it, it still was a moment.
What do you think, viewers? Do moles need a nerf? Get in the comments!
These clearings.
We really gotta subscribe to that one day.
Bringing it down. He's at least 1 boot, I think.
I keep meaning to.
Yeah.
Moles are the worst.
But I believe boot is
Oh, okay, it was Sam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the other Sam.
Just double check.
It's one of the Sams.
Funny.
Yeah, so he'd have if he kept 2 boots, that's 4 points craftable, 5 points from the cards in his hand,
Oh yeah.
and then that's pretty
Legit.
close to winning next turn.
I appreciate you filling me in and not making me go
Yeah,
completely
Maul's
crazy,
definitely
Griffin
the
Hawk.
problem. I'm just wondering, at what point will I give? How much room does Badgers need?
Yeah.
Catch up.
I need at least 3 turns,
Yeah.
and I don't.
Jonas, but I will say, I am absolutely of the philosophy that buffs are better and more interesting than nerfs. But nerfs still can sometimes be necessary. I think it's easy to get too binary about it.
I mean, there's one nerf that they did do that I will always agree with, which is that the first sympathy of the Woodland Alliance shouldn't give you points.
No, I mean, sometimes nerfs are absolutely necessary, but I absolutely agree that if you can solve problems with buffs, that is by far the better way to do so.
Agreed.
And more, I also agree that Daylight Mayor is more, it's a diagonal nerf. It is definitely not a straight down nerf. It is a little bit of a nerf,
Daylight
but also a
Mayor?
little bit just different.
I don't understand what Daylight Mayor means.
Daylight Mayor is a proposal to make it so that Mayor, instead of saying you may copy the action of any swayed squire or noble, it says that you may take any one action from your assembly step.
Ah.
So it either gives you
Yeah, that's more
one
lateral.
move, one battle, one recruit, or one dig.
That is more lateral. It's interesting because it gives you the one recruit.
Or the dig.
Or the dig. So you could technically have no tunnels and fully Duchess
Yeah,
in one turn.
it shuts down the...
I was right. We're doing the 4-9-7 dance.
It shuts down the most oppressive banker shenanigans, it also lets you build. Right. It shuts down the most oppressive banker shenanigans, but it opens up options of other types.
Yeah, that does feel more lateral.
So it's somewhere between lateral and diagonal.
Because I'm coughing my lungs off.
Sure.
Oh, Gregoola. I believe you. I know you're coughing your lungs out.
For such tiny creatures, moles are quite powerful.
There's power in numbers that they definitely have.
They're not even that numerous. They're just leader messed up, that's all.
I will say, just based on size, I think Badgers should be the scariest faction.
Yeah. Which they kind of are.
Followed by cats.
Yeah, cats. They kind of messed up with cats, too. Any changes to factions have to be minor and make sense. Yes and no. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing
It's a whole thing.
that we're definitely not going to solve on stream. So back to the game now. I think moles should be the weakest. I think moles are technically smaller than birds. Because birds include hawks.
If I want to.
Yeah,
Birds are diversity.
Yeah, birds are diverse.
And birds can fly. I will say, it's very interesting you did a bird faction and didn't put flying capabilities in there.
The badger.
Because the animal doesn't matter.
Let me dream.
On the waist
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
And
the
lizards can't swim.
I'm the root fanatic the rare root fanatic who absolutely does not care about the animal aspect of
No,
root.
I know you do. Don't.
It's like I've been asked that on podcasts a couple times, and it's just like, I don't care. What do you mean? What animal do I want next? What socio-political real politic do I want next? That's the question.
Doesn't mention horse.
And I always say the same thing. I want one that doesn't fit in a forest. Give me fucking elephants.
No warriors needed.
So it also shows how much I care about the animals. I just want things that are cute, make me happy. Guerric.
Okay.
Oh.
Hello. What is the question?
Recover on a way station without a warrior.
That is fine.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
I love how that wasn't even a question. That was just like a statement that they wanted to be, And over the morrow, yes.
Perhaps I do. I have a lot of points on the board. For you to get. I still do battle the lone mole in 4. Do you want to use an ambush?
No ambush.
Trade.
1 each.
Badger's having a very good setup for recovering the rest of the clearings, but I'm wondering if it's a little too late.
2 moves.
Yeah, so it's hard, and this is sort of the reason we're getting a little goofy and off topic. But badgers are not set up in a way to be able to reactively police the moles right now, which means the only thing they can really do is continue playing their game of setting up, recovering, delving, all that stuff. Which
What
means
card did we burn for that?
Yes.
I don't think we burned anything because we moved into 4 and 9.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah,
Brain.
yeah. So we're just continuing to play our game, and we'll see if we get more turns. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah. And I mean, Badgers, well, red are not really a policing faction.
They're really not.
So this is unfortunately a situation where it's kind of left up to the birds.
Yeah. Switchfang, theocracy was something that Cole has mentioned. He's also mentioned a faction undergoing a civil war. So it would have like 2 major political internal factions in conflict.
I will say the Civil War faction, I'm gonna thoroughly place on Shaman's shoulders from his Takes 2 theme for Root Jam.
There have been some factions along those lines in the Root community over the years. There's been at least a few. I can't remember all of them by name or anything like that.
I refresh all my items because I have
Bearbrae, I think that just becomes Spirit Island then.
slip
The forest comes to life.
daylight. Now I gotta math out things. Let's first start by repairing this torch because I know that's happening. This bag goes back up here. These coins go back up here.
The spring, that's terrifying.
So then,
I think you should, if you can, take out one of the way stations.
not have a sword.
But you can get from the ruins.
Yeah, so we're...
Craft a crossbow.
This is
Or use the crossbow.
This is an interesting situation we're in where
Way station. I mean, I can move. Sure.
No.
keepers could not really help with the mole problem. Adventurer cannot help with the mole problem.
It was the badgers.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, real. Just wanted to be sure that you were asking for your own sake and not because.
No, I just. It's 1 more point for.
Yeah, so I need, and then I'm gonna do these 2. So then those are exhausted. So that's
If Adventurer takes out either the way station in 8 or 7, I think that just helps.
God.
Yeah,
Keepers.
Badgers were the ones who asked for the way station to be removed. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
why we're like, nah, we're good.
Got it.
Put the boot aside so I don't use that accidentally.
Badgers were trying to be like, it's a point. And they're like, it helps you way too much.
To aid the birds.
Thank you.
Let's use a crossbow.
I'm sad. I didn't want that.
Aid the birds. We are now better friends. I get 2 points. Then I will use a boot. I'm sorry, badges, but I don't have the refreshers to do it. I feel comfortably at least.
Maybe you'll find the sword.
Maybe I'll find sword. I'll use the torch and the T.
Or
1, 2,
not.
3, 4, 5.
Give a speech.
Do I dare? How radical am I?
I think I would damage a bag or coins over
Use the
using the
torch.
T. Oh,
Getting a boot.
that's boot.
I don't think there are any relics there to delve.
Well, we gotta try to get the relics somehow, and we can only use the ruins.
Uh,
Maybe one day there'll be a relic in those ruins. That'd be so funny if in the ruins, instead of like an item under the ruins, it was just a bag, and it was a bag full of random things, so you never actually know what you're gonna get. You need like a dispenser.
I hate to do this, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Use and damage the boot and the tea. To finish, give a speech.
Okay.
And I will gain a point for that.
Painful.
Well, I draw 2 cards. I think cards are worth more points, so I'll draw 2 cards. Oh, the deck is empty. So let's flip.
Oh, that Saboteur's back in the play.
Shuffle.
How did I hurt you?
And I'll draw the second card.
I will say, Vagabond keeping up pace.
So daylight action.
We a little bit hurt in that turn with getting rid of a T, but if we can keep this up and slow the moles down enough, I think we can overtake them.
Refreshing all my items.
I just don't see us slowing down the moles enough.
That's fair.
And also, I would have.
I would love to see it.
I have 8 items in my satchel. So
This feels like a runaway moles game.
double whammy for not doing that.
I don't disagree. What's the new quest?
We don't have a new quest out yet.
And I got this card.
I was asking the player.
Can't
hear me, but I'm asking anyway. Sorry, they can't hear me, but I'm asking anyway.
And this is partially the result of the draft itself being a little cursed. But
remember in the draft when taking moles was supposed to be a blessing,
Whatever that is.
or like a helping something.
Yeah.
It's taking one for the team, doing it for the table.
And my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Vagabond's really on a 2-turn clock minimum.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I gotta draw a new quest.
Eerier on a 3-turn clock, perhaps.
To fend off a bear.
Yeah. Keepers, if they have a crazy set of turns, it could probably be 2 turns. I haven't sat down and done the math. But then moles there, they could have a really incredible 1 turn and a fairly unstoppable 2 turns.
The moles. Oh, that doesn't help me at all. You can have it back.
It was the mouse dominance.
Yeah, it all comes back to the fact that moles did not get hit enough in the early game. And the thing is, they were hit in the early game.
Okay.
So this isn't even a case of, like, the table did nothing. This is a case of the table did something, but it wasn't enough. And it's hard, because there was absolutely a keeper's player to have to think about drawing heat away from the moles. But yeah, I mean, you really just have to delete moles early game and delete keepers late game.
Yeah.
And then you get to play root.
Find a win somewhere in
That's
between.
false order. I'm going to move on to add 2 cards. I'm going to add a battle, bunny to battle, and a bird to recruit.
We just made ourselves potentially turmoilable.
And we're just gonna
We did.
start attack.
But we didn't use false orders, so we have one turn.
Craft the boots. Or a point.
We have 1 turn where we can use false orders to save us from a bunny battle if the table tries to turmoils. But again, I don't think that ends up being necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got very silent.
It's because we're all nervous.
I think everybody's kind of realizing the game is about to end and they don't want to give it away.
Fair.
They don't want to make a mistake and realize they're actually in a bad position without oh no, I said a thing and now they're attacking me.
There is a very thin line between over-policing moles and not hitting them enough. Yes, I would say it is
At this point.
very thin, very fuzzy line. There is such a thing as over-policing moles, but it is...
Yeah, just
The,
one of them hit you.
the problem is that
That's why overplacing moles isn't a real thing.
it requires a lot of knowledge of moles, and there's still a level of ambiguity to it because you have to just trust that moles have a bad hand. And it is just far safer to err on the side of over policing. Like the only time I would be like, "Hey, stop policing moles," is if you can visibly point out that they are behind, and there is another threat that needs some policing.
Recruiting all 6 of them in 12.
Ninja Puffin, thank you so much for the 9 months. Where are we going from 12? Fox, Mouse Bunny.
Tunnels.
Yeah.
7 birds to 1.
Looks like we're going to 5, 6, and then back to 5.
Tunnels is one hell of a drug.
Yep.
The only reason I say that moles can be overplaced is because I've been in that situation before where I was moles. I could demonstrate that I was not winning the game and was struggling, and could point out another player at the table who was winning and who was the threat, and the table still kept coming after me. And I didn't begrudge them. I'm moles.
We gotta kill some moles.
But it was a clear case of me being over policed and somebody else being under policed as a result. And that's the only reason I try to like.
But could they really police me?
8 over to 5.
Was it you?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
But I'm gonna pretend it was for the funsies.
Then moving 3 over to 6.
Because I do remember that game.
And I have a mouse move left. I am going to move 2 to 7.
Okay.
Safety battle just in case.
Okay, 3 attacks. I'll start with my bunny in attack in 6. Is there ambush moles?
No, go for it.
3-0.
Oof.
So is the takeaway from this, if Gregoola wins with the runaway moles, that this wasn't even his final form, given his sick?
Killing moles in 5. Is there
Go for
ambush?
it.
This is but a fraction of my power. Ooh, bad roll.
Not what we were hoping for.
Kind of offsets the first roll being really good.
Yep. Down to 0-2 on average.
There was an argument now to pivoting to 7 for the
Point.
or going for 1. I like 1 a lot.
In 1.
Okay. Just go across the northern cliff strip.
I like 1 a lot. 2-1. I also hope he gets some rest after the game. He also volunteered to be our sub, so he did sign up for this.
It's not a thing where he got sick after getting the schedule. He was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, like I put out a call for subs this morning, and he was like, I can do it.
Yes,
Which you
from 1.
needed.
Need some tea
So now you
here.
have 6 in your supply.
This is actually just Gregoola being like, look what happens when you don't
Oh.
give me the root tea.
I hadn't even noticed we were low on warriors.
My roost in
Oh, nice.
5.
Ooh, that's a
Churrosco,
good subtle policing there.
Churrosco, it needs to keep him from building in Fox, though. Yes.
That's what someone. Yeah, sure. Score 3, draw 2 cards.
We have made that difficult by building there and having 5 warriors there. So I think we've done a pretty adequate job of policing moles about as well as we can. We could have battled in 5 and hoped for another 3.
But it wouldn't have got rid of the tunnel.
Yeah, I think taking out 2 tunnels
Do anything.
and making 5 annoying is, all in all, a better holistic policing.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 reds.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
No, never mind. We don't have mayor. If we had mayor, I was wondering if we just say we have 2 turns and just dump our entire hand.
I have.
You just bank your twice for your entire hand to make it 5 and 5.
That would be legit, but we
That's
do not
winning,
have.
But we don't have banker, or mayor.
We don't have mayor, and the odds of having 2 hands in a row where you can banker all 5 cards in one go is not. Probably not the play. There's got to be a better line of play than that.
Oh.
I thought up the most esoteric metaphor for that, and it's not worth mentioning.
But he mentioned it anyway.
It's like it's comparable to this specific thing in this obscure board game under certain conditions, and it's yeah.
I think this guy here.
What's Vagabond's board like? Oh, nice, Mora. Was that hard to find? I guess it must have been since you're in Europe. You probably didn't do the Hollandspiel holiday sale. Yeah, that checks out. Although wait, doesn't Hollandspiel's I can't say that European distributor, don't they usually get some of the promo games every year?
Yeah, they get some, and then they're gone.
Yeah. And Republic of Virtue is really interesting.
I like Republic of Virtue a lot, actually.
I think what's it called?
Reign of Witches.
Thank you. My brain was stuck on the joke name Pax Adams. I think Reign of Witches is a better game, but Republic of Virtue is really interesting.
Good.
I knew exactly which one you were thinking about.
Thank you. You are the functional part of my brain today.
Yay! I'm functional! I'll take it! It's better than most days.
I was in the middle of thinking or saying something.
Gregoola doing a lot of thinking here.
No, this actually we've been put in a tight spot by Erie. This is what I was trying to start talking about. We've been put in a tight spot by Erie, and I actually have to be very careful how we go about this because we can fumble our path to victory if we're not careful.
Especially because we have such a low warrior count right now.
Right. I've said this before, but as powerful and consistent as moles are, they do pretty consistently win by a hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like the margin for error is pretty small for a faction that is otherwise very powerful and consistent and wins very often.
I will say I thoroughly appreciate the, we've got a runaway leader. Oh man, we gotta be careful, otherwise we're gonna lose.
Well, so that's what I'm getting at, is Erie had a really good turn that pretty successfully put moles in a tough spot, and we just have to be careful now. Because I do still think, like...
I still think the 2-turn clock is very possible.
Yeah, the 2-turn clock is still very possible for us.
Okay, I will try that.
But we have to do it just right.
I will.
And this is where the lack of mayor starts to hurt us, because we cannot pivot into a strong policing turn. Yeah, if we felt the best play was to just hammer Erie in 5 as hard as possible, per se, we would have
the point of no return.
We'd have a lot of difficulty doing that.
Option of turmoiling the birds on battle next turn.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
False orders.
With yellow?
If we abandon all yellow, the birds will turmoil on battle, and it is very doable.
False orders.
Before you put a
Which
site on 8, which would then be a target. Which
I want to say this is another reason why it was excellent that OmegaKnight had the restraint to not burn it on the opportunistic
just mentioning that
keepers
it's too late.
play.
But I mean, do you do it here to force them to use false orders to turmoil them the next turn?
Maybe. But if you have to significantly warp your game plan around...
Can kill this poor tunnel, or maybe they will ambush me here.
Badgers can kill it. It's fine.
They have to battle on yellow, and if the Badgers will abandon 8 and 3. I can almost guarantee that.
But they have their move. They
can move afterwards. I think it's totally fine for Gregoola to play
The
Breeding here.
Badgers will kill your thing and then move.
Yeah.
Just trying to...
Yeah.
I can hope that. Yep.
I can hope that, yeah.
Badgers. I like it.
Oh, no,
Badgers, it's forcing the Badgers to
give it
police.
another point here.
Yeah.
But then, do you move your mole to 8 then, or do you just leave the tunnel? Because if you're trying to sway, the tunnel is fine. You don't need the mole there when you dig.
Trying to Duchess.
I wanted to kill the way station. Basically.
Ah, good point, good point, good point. My man, he's thinking, using his brain.
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 Greg, an arm and an arm for a leg.
Bruise.
I'm not sure what's happening here, but I'm enjoying it.
Wait, the guy then.
I don't think I can guarantee that I won't have anything left in Bunny. I
Ooh.
have to use all my moves to.
Do what's best for you. Is turmoiling me the best option?
So like that.
Are you sure? Then I can't police VV or moles, and
Yeah, here's
Police
the thing.
what? There are 3 existing. 4.
it'll be easier to turmoil me the turn after the next turn.
No, there will be no after next turn.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's for the dice to
But
decide.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, Gregoola. The Badgers is not like in line to win. It's not in their best interest to police anyone. They couldn't really care if the birds win or not. They have to play for their own win. So you can't force them to clear you out of 8. So you're gonna ask yourself, if you leave something in 8 for them to hit, will they actually do it, or will they go, well, maybe the birds don't win next turn and go for their own selfish game plan? You have to keep that in mind. Just the fact that they can doesn't mean they will, because they're also trying to win, not help you win.
If you win in 2 turns or birds in 1, it doesn't really matter to me.
Exactly.
I don't know if I can win one.
Yeah, look, there's more. You can't force the moles to clear out your thing in 8. But if you
win in
don't have
2
anything
turns,
in
you
8,
win
then it's
before me
very
anyway.
easy. What,
So-
sorry?
Well, if moles win in 2 turns, they will win before me. So
Exactly. So why would
Yes.
he clear out 8? Which then means
It's not
if
possible
you,
for me to dig
Yeah.
anywhere else. That's the problem.
yeah, well then
And I cannot not dig because that's.
then you have to ask yourself if that's worth the birds not turmoiling or not. That's up to you. Of how you best win the game.
Okay.
Nobody's wrong here,
No one is wrong here.
except for missing false orders.
That's true.
Over the Morrow, that is deeply cursed, but yes, that is technically what would happen by official rules, which gives everyone at the table incentive to enforce it.
go for it. Go for it.
Do whatever you gotta do. Like,
It comes back to the tournament rules are not just keep your own game correct and call out your own mistakes, but
Keep
everyone
everyone's game.
do their best to keep everybody correct and call out everybody's mistakes.
yeah, well, we're doing that every turn, right?
Yeah. And look how far that got us. very
Hmm. 1, 2.
But yeah, if we do this turn as moles,
Also do that.
we get 2 points from Duchess, we get 1 point from the cardboard, we get 2 points from swaying a noble, probably mayor. That puts us at 25. That makes it a pretty easy 5-point banker win next turn. I think if you calculate it, I don't feel like Erie has a 1-turn win on this board. I could be wrong. If they double,
yeah.
if they double build, they go up to a 5-point, which takes them to 26. Craft something for 1 point takes them to 27. 3 points of cardboard is doable in the right board state, but they only have 3 battles, and I don't think they would be the right board state.
It's kind of crazy that, moles can get 5 points this turn, curate their hand with the draws they get, or the draw they get, and just win next turn without having anything on the map.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I hate it.
Badgers did say they don't care. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard when you have one seat kind of out of it because they become a chaos agent that can very easily give the game to any one person. Which isn't even like on the player or anything like that. That's just inherent to the fact that the incentive structure has broken down.
This one is not
So
helping.
their ability to make actions that advance them toward victory has broken down. They have 4 cards at the end of their turn?
Why would they only?
Oh, did we dig twice this turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did dig twice.
I forgot that dig gets rid of it and not reveals it because we're not getting rid of them and we're putting them in the reveal slot.
I forgot we were digging twice.
So we have to find one more point for next turn.
Thinking if there is any other way for me to cover anything this turn, is significant enough.
Assuming they keep 1 cardboard and dig twice, that is... No, that's the same as Banker.
Yeah. So maybe it's not as easy as I was thinking.
Possibly fruit more. Right. Oh, but I cannot then sway.
Yeah, I was thinking it may come down to some sort of craft pivot, which is very doable. If we still have a sword or a boot in our hand...
With 4 cards, you can build, craft the sword, get the 2 points from the noble or the lord, and then sway a squire for 1.
I'm assuming we will need to dig to reestablish somewhere.
We'll see.
But yeah, I think there's still a path.
Yeah.
And I think getting to 25 is almost assuredly the best way to enable.
Wait a second, maybe I will have another option of doing that.
So I have a question then.
Sure.
If you think that that's the path, do you use Brigadier to return, instead of battling that way station, do you just use Brig to return everybody to the burrow?
No, the way station is what gets us to 25, and 24
right.
is significantly more difficult.
Never mind.
There's a huge leap up from 24 to 25.
Yeah, never mind. I forgot about that.
But
Wish we had an extra move. Wish we had the mayor. I wish we
Right.
had mayor instead of banker last turn.
So we're finally seeing this is the downside of going heavy on lords right away like this.
I mean, honestly, I still think it would have been fine if we just had mayor instead of banker last turn because then we'd have 2 battles and 2 builds. We'd have the battle and then we could move to secure.
Yeah, Banker was maybe a little greedy.
Aspirational.
Yeah.
Aspirational greed.
Yeah.
2 cards to persuade. I had everything planned and now you made me doubt.
Don't doubt yourself, Gregoola. Believe. Believe in the me who believes in you.
Don't believe in yourself. Believe in the lily who believes in you.
Will you be taking?
And I always believe in you.
Because I'm counting the bird points and it's looking if he has a way.
Yeah, I can take 7. I can take out,
It's hard.
and then I think you should attack an 8, but I
I mean, you can have an ambush and kill me, so that's also a thing.
in 8.
Yeah.
I won't use it.
Badgers want their way stations gone.
Notably,
He can.
we can use Duchess before battling.
Have a crossbow.
Our action sequencing works out so that we can use Duchess before battling,
kill
so
me after that, or
we don't run the risk of disabling that aspect. Getting to 24 still sucks, though.
I mean, if you leave a single mole there after killing the way station, then a single crossbow won't do it.
I like how we're hearing the vagabond say, if you abandon the tunnel, which is not possible, but if you could have, we would have crossbowed it just to get it off the board.
It's your choice. I'm just making sure you make an informed decision.
I really think I may have messed this up. I'm not sure if I can even win on my next turn.
Oh no, Greg!
That's OmegaKnight.
Just
Huh?
leave me
That's
alone
okay.
and let me turmoil on
Oh.
turn after.
yeah. 4 points for roasts. Or 5. That's 26. 3 battles.
Oh no, my hearing.
With 3 battles, I think might still make it through.
My big question is OmegaKnight bluffing, Or did OmegaKnight legitimately forget
3
that he
points.
has false orders?
That's right.
It's possible
Yep.
I do not know.
both. And this is why you follow the arrow.
What if you go bird build, colored build, and then turmoil next turn with 7 roosts on the board?
Yeah, I can see that.
Then I'm still think I'm a point short.
Does OneTooMany need another Waterman's Law?
Since you have foxes, you can have.
Well, we know
The-
where
You
hammer.
only have 4. Maybe you just put one like on top of the board.
Sauce and shoe.
Sword
Yeah.
and shoe.
I've got it. We just gotta put a blindfold on that has Waterman's Law inscribed on the inside.
Yeah, just change out the blindfold feature to be.
Waterman's Law. That'd be hilarious.
Is that the game?
4, right?
Okay, yeah.
I might have one.
Okay, I guess let's go with it as it is. Seems kind of hopeless. Yeah, so that was that. I'm giving points to the Badgers with empty tunnel here. Yeah, he gets 1 point here. And maybe some from Badgers. Yeah, okay,
What
let's
round is it?
risk.
We are in round 6.
I probably have this shoe. So that was the dig. Then this white minister actions. So that is 2.
Okay, we're going through with the dig.
What did you get 2 points for?
Yeah, what did you get 2 points
Duchess.
for?
The
Duchess.
Duchess.
Ah,
That's all I'll say, Duchess.
Huh?
Duchess. Duchess.
Yep.
Duchess.
Oh, yeah.
Duchess.
Duchess.
You burrow twice, right?
Oh yeah, this goes. Yeah. So there-
That's why we weren't discarding them, is because we were still planning.
and
I see.
then my minister actions. So I will hit the PlayStation here. Will you ambush?
No.
Alright, I was gonna say that's a big moment, but no ambush. So there we go.
We promised we wouldn't. 'Cause
Yeah.
We want that way station over to get over to 4.
Okay.
We were already trying to get the Vagabond to kill those way stations, so we're happy it dies.
My ministers are done. So I will do the swaying part.
Still sitting on that sword. Still sitting on that boot. That gives us crafting options for next turn.
It does.
And that's the key thing, is having options.
Points.
Yeah. I think if we had had the mana this turn and we could have retreated just everyone into the burrow, just so this way next turn would be strong, I would have preferred that.
Oh, pity.
Uh-oh.
yeah, so.
Sounds like we got a bad card.
Discard their entire hand to banker. They're 1 point from
I
winning.
have 4 cards.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
saying
no.
this too. Like, I'm just, for the record, for the rest of the table, just.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I cannot because I have 4 cards.
One
Yeah.
turn, 1 point for winning.
Yeah.
Slight miscommunication.
That's okay.
Unless you aid me. You can aid me one.
Yeah.
No.
Not to mention the Duchess or killing any cardboard. The moles might get this game next turn, not gonna lie.
Same thing with you, though. If there's a right combination of aiding and questing.
I don't have it next turn, at least.
Yeah.
That's what they all say.
11 does feel a little ambitious
That's
for the
right.
Vagabond
Always told you.
in this position.
Some of you
Mhm.
win.
2 turns seems very doable.
So I
1
Agreed.
turn seems...
I think here.
It's possible. I have seen it happen before. It is very
I just know,
situational.
I know there's no coins left.
Yep.
We cannot craft the hammer.
Yep.
I
I said situational for a reason.
camp in 3 and 6.
We have, despite our best efforts, we have not
are
done a ton of
decamping.
questing.
I need those.
Da, 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 da.
So what's the path of moles now? It's going to depend a lot on how the board state looks in 3 turns. So it's hard to say for sure, but
No, first, I'm not going to daylight yet. I'm going to stick in birdsong and doing the recruit.
it potentially involves
4 guys in 9.
throwing down a building into either bunny or fox, because that way we get the key thing is we have to accrue an extra point somewhere, and if we're able to both score for the card and score for crafting, that means we're getting the extra value that we're looking for out of a card. So that means turning a card into a building
Kill a tunnel.
to score it with the Lord and craft it.
Tunnel.
That's like the easiest path to victory.
Mhm.
There's other ways to do it if we have to, that potentially involve cardboard or something weird. But that's like the easy path.
Mhm.
Do Erie win on their turn, though? Yes, that is the big question. And so much of it depends upon what happens on Keeper's turn right now. Because Erie is not turmoiling, despite what the table
An ambush of what color?
maybe thinks.
If the moles have a
Erie has a false orders, so unless they forget about it, Erie cannot turmoil. But do they win? I do not know.
I'm pretty sure. Right, we have 1 bird ambush on yours, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have a bird ambush.
Oh,
and
you are asking whether I will use it on you?
no,
The
I'm
Badgers?
just thinking loud. But even if you
Oh.
would, that's one less.
No,
card.
I would not use the ambush. Like,
I think the card is more valuable right now.
Absolutely. Card is worth a point at this point.
you taking it out is way better for me than birds.
Or if Erie cannot win, maybe they miraculously stop Greg and then VB wins. True.
Then
Or Erie buys themselves another turn.
This makes
or
sense.
should I move more to 7? What would that do?
I think taking more is reasonable because
Less
you want
options
to
on where
delve, right? Or
Yeah.
either that or 212 and hit him just for the points.
So it looks like we are not hitting
I think
the goals in 8.
everyone from 3 to 7. Yes, I do that. So that was the moves.
I think we'd considered
And now
killing the moles in 8, but it looks like it's not happening.
birds in 11.
Oh wow, I'm surprised we're battling at 11.
Propaganda Bureau card. Do you want to use an ambush?
No.
You don't have to announce. Wait, Propaganda Bureau? Ah,
You-
sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying fighting with partisans. And I was like, you don't have
Okay.
to announce that yet.
No.
No. Just the card I'm using.
Yeah, Nefernefer's doing it right. 2-1.
Are we gonna delve a tablet?
If the plan is to continue doing battles in 11, that might potentially save us a warrior or 2.
I mean, I would like to dial a tablet out of that 11, 10, 1.
4 guys before.
Yeah, we need to kill another.
Only 3.
We need one more.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was 2-1. Right. Yep. You're right. You're
Yeah.
correct.
I would like to see it out of that northern tablet because we can.
Yeah.
So I delve this one.
What? Somebody said,
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
Hey, it was safe.
Okay.
That one. But then I use the false order to battle the birds again.
I'll ambush.
Why?
So
Only one guy.
What does this get us?
only one guy.
I don't know. Maybe that was the
I thought
yes.
it was
Yeah.
battle only.
Yeah, but then now
Ambush.
it's
Battle.
battle.
Ambush is part of battle.
Then he
Yeah.
removes 2.
We told
The dice.
I only have one
Ambush
guy
doesn't
left.
hit. Yeah.
Alright.
But I only take one because
Yeah, so keepers now would lose 2 warriors if there was a second eerie warrior there to deal the hit.
Okay.
and then you lose your roost and your guy, so I get 1 point.
I don't know why we ambushed.
I'm not sure either. I think we thought that both would go through, and then it'd be only 2,
And
but
then
I still don't think it was worth it.
I delve this relic, which is a 2, so I lose the
Unfortunate.
card.
If we'd maybe
What does our retinue look like again?
if we'd ambushed first, we actually wouldn't have enough warriors to walk around at this point, would we?
The retainer to battle delve there. What? No. Because I can only move
Can only move 2 relics. Yeah, don't flub it.
per.
Warrior.
one per guy.
I screwed up.
So it turns out the ambush actually did help.
Wanted to take more relics and he cannot.
No, I don't.
because
We were questioning it, but the ambush ended up mattering.
So I use the retainer to battle in 4. Ambush or no ambush?
no ambush.
Ambush is 1 point. And that was the retainer, which I lose now because I take.
You won't lose that.
No, we rule.
You rule.
We
You
rule!
don't lose a retainer. Ow!
No!
And I have 1 more battle left.
Maybe just kill the bird, just in
7.
case he does something funny.
Yeah,
Like what?
I battled the last bird in 7.
Okay.
So.
No ambush.
Nice.
Dead bird.
And now I move. Make a fox move. And a bird move
No, don't do it.
with me. And then I rule 3 clearing so I can recover all these
Oh, okay, wait, the fox move. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
No, we're fine. I was wondering what you were panicking about.
points, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10. That's 10.
10 points, I guess.
And I am at 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. And now I'm at 23. Yes.
Morning, Elevars.
We might have a badger problem.
Especially since they burnt a card they shouldn't have. Still upset.
Is that a badger problem or is that a problem for badgers?
Yes.
That is a shame we lost that though. That
Here.
was a bird card that could potentially end up being
And the last
important.
Need to think a little bit more.
Should not have lost that card.
Things still looking pretty good for Greg, but
That could
if
look better.
if too many warriors end up in the wrong clearings, it could low-key deny rule, and therefore the building that I think is going to be critical for Greg's victory.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We also, as Badgers, are now in the unfortunate spot of being 50-50 between a 1 or a 3 for our final column bonus, which means we're looking at the variance of a 3-point to 5-point relic, and having that type of variance can be the difference between winning or losing as Badgers sometimes.
Just 2 minutes.
11 is nice because you can't get both.
think one more time.
Yeah, it's,
And we put 2 fox cards into Battle Delve.
yeah.
So that's a positive.
Something happened here because there are no 5 guys.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
To take one away. Yes. And then
Not a lot of cardboard for Eerie.
Can you think while it's my turn?
No.
I'm going to put down one more card. So to have it
Okay.
here.
You're thinking retinue. Yeah, sorry.
I think I have to do.
Stacking up our recover column pretty hard.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at all those craftables.
2 cards. And I end my turn.
Alright, guys, talk to me. How do we stop the moles from winning?
And then how do we stop the badgers?
Wipe them off the
And the
board
area.
and then question mark.
So
That is the best decision.
we can take.
Hi, Punk Starman.
That leaves them. Duchess of Mud is never happening, but still, they have 4 cards in hand. That turns, assuming banker, that turns into 4 points at the worst, at the very worst. The same if they build stuff. That's still just.
She's like, do I abandon him?
So
No.
how do they get another point? Do we have that might be exposed at the end of turn. This might be exposed. They can maybe go there. So those are some points to get for them. For the final one, how do
My
we?
main problem is that birds are before me, so this.
Yeah. But
I
to me.
don't think I can win from this point.
no, I don't think
Oh.
you can either.
I have to stop both you and the VB Vagabond from getting another turn.
Hmm. I'll refresh some items.
Keepers are also in range. Worth mentioning since OmegaKnight didn't. Keepers are in range. Slightly complicated by whoopsies. By having to go 50-50 on the jewelry being good or bad, but
I still think we need.
Then I.
What
which figure is that?
What's way stations do we have left?
Oh. We've got options with 2-way stations.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we have. Okay, so we can do a jewelry and a tablet. Yeah, we can do it.
Refreshes are these.
And that figure
I slip.
over what?
I wouldn't even worry about the figure.
I delve.
I was just saying it's a 3 if you feel the need to go after it.
Oh, sorry.
I was thinking what my brain. I guess there's. Oh, we just opened up a relic slot there. What do we get?
Then I craft.
A ruin slot.
Bag.
This bag. Okay.
And we're crafting another bag.
A point.
Because yeah, if we didn't have that ruin slot opened, we could have just put a tablet down in 7 and recovered that one over there.
Yeah.
And not even worried about the statue because we don't have enough we didn't have enough spots for the statue on the left side of the map. But now
we do.
But now we do.
For the birds, but I gotta get my points. So I can do a quest to get a point, which I guess I'm forced to do. So yeah, let's just let's do some logistics help for a point. Oh, wait, I get to see what it is first before I.
What?
Whole deck.
Oh no! Oh. I get to see the next card before I gain a point to draw cards, right?
Punk Starman, the Vagabond play has been really interesting so far, and I think there are very good reasons to have left the ruins until this late. That are very cool. Unfortunately, the game's just getting away from us too quickly.
Badges are a bit.
Yeah, I was just highlighting that it was something that it was for an interesting reason.
Thank you.
Aiding the badgers.
That is my daylight. Go to evening. Draw 2 cards.
Okay, so we're just leaving that mole in 8.
We are, and we end at 23.
Okay.
We have both our tea back.
Many options to help do stuff around the board.
A victory is probably possible for us next turn.
So it's interesting with Omega
It's
Knight's
very
turn
intentional, I feel.
is
You think,
No.
you think I'd avoid getting ruins just because it might give me a sword? Who do you think I am? Come on.
Okay, Omega Knight's massing over swap meet and false orders, so I'm gonna err on the side of him bluffing this whole time when they were talking about turmoiling him
White
and Bunny.
moles
well. So we do have a
win.
battle in 8. Looks like we're talking about battling in 5 and potentially 10.
And then
But it doesn't sound like we feel we have the win on our turn.
let's swap moles just in case maybe they're hiding something.
That actually, swap meeting moles could be big here. We could deny the item that moles need.
Could get that sword. We
Or
can grab
that-
that sword too.
Or we could take the boot.
Okay.
Nobody giving away information.
And there was
I think
silence.
that helps me in any way.
Oh, does not help.
Yeah.
But does it help? Does it help to hold on to it? I don't know.
Nope, he said to give him back.
That doesn't mean it didn't help to hold on to it. We just don't know.
That's true. Don't know what it was.
Yeah. I'm curious now what it
But
was.
I don't think it was a craftable item. Because we can craft a boot and a sword.
Yeah, there's just not enough cardboard to kill to get those last few points.
Yeah.
Do you think we go after 9 to kill the way station for the points? Or do we just leave it?
It depends on how willing we are to police moles. We can either make our entire turn about policing moles, or we could chase cardboard,
We are
hope that moles end at 29 and that we get another turn.
to battle and a bunny into build.
Copenhagen's again.
This is one heck of a retinue.
That's just funny that it came back around to OmegaKnight.
That's true as well.
I'm just gonna.
I agree, Churrosku. I'm just saying that
Turn and win my battles on my next turn. I'm pretty sure is how I have to do this.
I think that's basically what their mindset is.
I believe in you.
And I think it should be police moles and get what we can.
The vagabond with my leftover attacks.
So it sounds like we're not policing badgers. Which is strange to me. Because I think they can win.
It's kicking the can. Moles come before badgers, so you gotta stop moles, and then hope moles can stop badgers.
Well, we're talking about hitting moles and vagabonds, not moles and badgers.
Oh, well, OmegaKnight may not realize that badgers are in range.
Yeah.
Because,
If we were just policing moles, I'd be like, legit. But the fact that we're talking about also hitting the vagabond is odd to me.
yeah.
Now, I'm gonna switch 2 of those to 1. I think. Let me just do some math.
She's like a little lion. I will say, I'm surprised we're not putting any in 12.
Yeah, maybe we're trying to satisfy a fox move this way. Fox from 5 to 12, 12 to 8.
Possible.
It is easy to forget keepers, as particularly if you are less experienced with them, which I believe OmegaKnight mentioned earlier that they were mostly a digital player, and therefore were less familiar with moles and keepers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they mentioned that like around turn 3, saying they didn't know which one of them was the threat they needed to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Keepers can be very surprising, In the same way that Wooden Alliance
Recruit all in 5, yeah.
Wooden Alliance tends to burst in ways that surprise new players, the same happens with Keepers for people new to them. Granted, I feel like the 10-point burst just now should have tipped you off, but
Well, maybe you thought because you did it once, you can't do it again.
that's a reasonable assumption.
Is it though?
It is an incorrect assumption, but a reasonable one.
Because if no warriors end up in 11, the delves are so easy.
Yeah.
And we don't even have to worry about getting there. Like, even if there's a giant Eerie army in 9, we don't care because of court planners.
I about him. Moving 6 down to 12. Or
I don't think so either, Churrasco.
Oh, right, tunnels.
That's what I was saying, move from 5-12 before.
moving
That makes sense. I thought you meant, like, through...
to 8 for Fox move 2.
This is feeling like we go to 8-9.
Moving 5 to 9 for my bunny move.
And then we move
Back.
a couple back.
Yeah.
And then moving 2 back to 8 for my mouse move.
If we have an ambush, we can keep the tunnel.
That would have to be a decision.
Okay,
I
bunny
don't
attack
know.
in 8 against the mole.
I think you're keeping...
Ambush?
Not gonna ambush.
I think you're keeping the card regardless.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah, I think it's not worth spending the ambush, but the fact that it actually mattered means you'd have to think about it.
Attack in 5 against the moles. Is there ambush?
Nope.
All right, is this where the rigged mole rolls come out? Speak of the devil.
We have 2 more battles.
In 5 again against the moles. No ambush
Okay.
still?
Nope.
I was wondering when my rigged mole scripting would kick in.
Oh, that's hilarious that it was just evens. Brutal. Brutal.
There have been an alarming number of 0-0s against moles this tournament.
Pick up that, I don't know.
We didn't even battling in 9.
Brutal ambush ever.
That would have been a hilarious ambush right there.
Let's recruit next turn.
That's as,
Well,
like I have.
He didn't kill the vagabond at all, so it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I was just hoping I would have extra attack.
I was hoping to actually because now it's like in game over.
Well,
So it's still 1 mole on the bat board.
Players do something.
Yeah.
Our baby in 10 survived. But I don't know if Gregoola has it, and if Gregoola doesn't, I really feel like Badgers do. But Badgers have to see it.
Actually, Badgers might win by themselves.
Build in 6 and 8. Right? That's the only 2 spots I can build, right? Yeah.
You could build a 9. Deny a slot. Deny the way station slot.
Yeah, that'd actually be really big. If you could deny the way station slot in 9, that...
It wouldn't matter because of 7, but you could do it.
Score.
It would cut off one path. And if you can cut off one path, it's worth cutting it off. I think Badgers might steal this.
Well, Greg has a chance first, but if not, yeah, I think Badgers do. Assuming they see it.
Oh.
But I will say Nefer has been fairly quiet.
He wins next turn.
Well, yeah. Get one guy in the brawl.
Why isn't Greg winning? Because we've got 1 mole on the board and 4 cards in hand, and that's just 1 card too short.
I'm doing the math right now.
I haven't done math. I think Greg still could win.
Turn also, so
I think everyone wins on their turn at this point.
before me.
Can they though?
8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8.
Punk Star, man, it's half meme. It's not serious.
I'm getting hungry so
I think there was one time
soon.
And it wasn't en route,
Yes.
but I definitely could see this happening when it goes
I think
late,
it's one of
where
those
they'll think I'm being quiet because I have the win, and I actually just passed out at my desk because I fall asleep at my desk all the time.
Hey, if you don't think you can win, can you drive the vagabond in the woods for me?
What?
And give it to you. Ah,
Well, they're next in line to win.
I can battle them.
Build twice, score
So I do.
Twice.
No, how do we build twice?
2 cards. Oh, we can't.
We don't have formal.
We can only build once. And,
Nah, you aided me 1 card.
This would be super easy with formal, but we don't have that.
By not hitting.
We have no squires.
Pretty close. I haven't really done.
That's why I'm sitting here doing math. Like it was.
I figured
It was.
Well, if we
win on their turn.
if we build
The
once,
badges have it, you know.
craft us boot,
You know, honestly, like this has been.
The problem is you have to spend a card to dig,
dig.
which means you're down a card. You're down to 3 cards.
Yeah, no, I'm
Leave the
thinking.
money on the Badgers.
dig,
Badgers come back.
build.
How many
1
turns?
point,
Have
2
this game
points. I can get to 29 really easily. I just am
No,
having trouble with that
6
third.
so 6 turns.
6 turns.
7th now. Because I have 6.
I mean, okay, I have an idea. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Turn.
Okay.
How many warriors do you have in the burrow? 1. Okay.
1.
So the card here.
It's Hail Mary. I can Hail Mary it really easily.
You're saying like throw the guy from 10 into 1 and hope for a 1-0, 1-0?
That, or we recruit. No, we can't recruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Hail Mary right there.
Yeah, I was still calculating that out, but I thought that was the only play, is go for the
You have to
dig,
kill you have to kill
build.
something.
dig, build, craft with that, get a point for it. So that's 2 points, takes you to 27. That leaves you with
2 cards to banker.
2 cards to banker, which gets you to 29, and then you just have to YOLO in 1. But where does the move come from is the problem.
Bridget.
Basically, you have to have 2 matching cards for banker.
Yeah.
You have to have a bunny that you can build and craft with. I don't think the boot was a bunny. I don't think it works. I see a path. I don't think we have it, though.
We never know what we drew. Can hold out hope. But yeah, it's not a given.
I mean, it's super not a given. It requires
Yeah.
several random variables to line up. Yeah, his boot's a fox card. That's what I thought.
Narrow way of winning.
It's unfortunate we can't battle the bird before we build.
It was there in a flash.
What's really fun about this ending, as sad as it is for Gregoola, this is the direct ramification of the Lord Heavy strategy. This is exactly what I've always encountered playing it, is you end up
And hope for
action shy at some point in the game.
I honestly think it would have been fine had we swayed Mayor before Banker, like last turn. If we had Mayor last turn, I think it would have been much different.
Yeah, I think our sequencing ended up just
Slightly off.
Or
Slightly.
I think we maybe needed to consider not grabbing
good building.
one of the lords, grabbing formal, and planning for a proper pivot.
The 3 Lord strat honestly kind of hems you
I
into
would need to move there.
Forever Small.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, what we've ended up seeing is a proper small mole game from Gregoola here. Like, this is the purest small mole game I've seen in a long time. We had a similar small mole game recently, as I recall, but like this is
Here. Nope.
pure by the book small mole.
So not working.
Yeah, Churrosco, exactly. Not having formal means that you are really relying on being able to position yourself to build with your 2 daylight actions, and that doesn't always happen, particularly in the Marauder meta, where people are more likely to come after your cluster of warriors.
Well, it's interesting because actually, if the 1 mole in 10 was an 11, this would be fine.
Yeah, we'd be fine in that case,
And we had the right cards.
assuming we read the right cards.
Yeah, and I will have 1 card because turn anyways. Doesn't matter.
So if you're at 29 this turn, do you just banker
Okay.
away your hand
Let's go.
to not put anything on the board?
So daylight actions will be
Or do you police?
move this single guy.
Mozilek, problems?
Oh,
No, we have
moving.
no rules changes for
There's daylight action.
moles. And also, I'm not a fan of that change.
Do I want to do anything else? Is anything else helping me? I guess no.
We moved to 1 with our first daylight action.
Oh yeah, I had a good run. So second action is I battle this ambush.
No ambush.
So we're not digging or building this turn.
Whatever 0, yay.
Oh, I see it.
2-0.
That's it. That's game. That's game.
Is it game? Oh,
We battle one more time and then we banker our hand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was overcomplicating it by getting fixated on the crafting.
I bunkered all of that.
Unless we get ambushed.
With Maria.
But why wouldn't we even ambush the first time?
Drama. That's why.
Drama.
We did that.
GG.
Right.
Yep, no ambush.
There it is. Oh shit! I overcomplicated that so hard.
Good game.
I even saw the go to 1 and Hail Mary thing, but I was adding it to some other plan that wasn't working. That's so funny.
Very lucky guys.
Yeah.
I think everyone would have it.
Yeah, you all had it. Great game, everyone. That was great.
This was those games where everybody had to be checked, but I was just trying to pour fuel on the fire to get you guys to hit each other. Like, that's the only way I was gonna not lose.
Yep.
Command, this was statistical, not.
Woo! Anyway, congratulations.
Win as well. It's sounds like an aid.
Congratulations, Gregoola, for that mole victory. But everyone, great job, everyone. OneTooMany, OmegaKnight, Nefernefer, great job. Thank you so much for participating in the tournament. You now, unfortunately, have been eliminated, but it's been a pleasure to have you. I hope you had fun.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thanks,
much
guys,
for
for
letting us
the game.
come. It was great.
It was game.
Forward to the next one.
Everyone watching,
Me.
everyone watching, thank you so much for watching. We currently have a game scheduled for later today
1 p.m.
at 1 p.m., but my life is a mess, and it may or may not happen, so I may or may not see you then.
Or maybe I'll just kick him out and I'll take over.
Maybe. Anyway, have a great one, everyone.
See you.
Nice.